Yo, how are we all doing? Grazza, you good, mate?
All good, mate.
Good. How's things?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah?
Cricket's on, isn't it?
I don't know. I've not really taken much interest in it. Who are we playing? Is it India or someone?
India semi-finals of the
That's
T20.
it. Yeah, that's right.
Just
Yeah.
lost a wicket.
Oh, have we?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, we've been doing all right in that, haven't we?
Well, we're better than the football,
Yeah, that's for sure. That's not
although we're
hard,
still
though,
in it, so you can't argue with that.
I suppose. But yeah, no, the cricket we've been doing all right, and the Aussies got knocked out, didn't they, as well? Was it Pakistan who knocked them out?
I think
No,
so.
someone like that, wasn't it? I can't remember now. But yeah, we've
It's
been
all
doing
good,
all right.
mate. It's all good. It's all good. I was enjoying the sunshine yesterday and today, and
Yeah, it's been lovely, hasn't it?
yeah, it
Been
won't last.
incredible. Oh no, don't expect it to. It's been draining though, working out in it. Man, it's hard work when it's warm like that. And I'm in my full gear with no ventilation whatsoever. It's horrible, but all good. It's nice
Uh,
to see some sun. Rather that
we-
than the shitty rain.
well,
So
you haven't had much luck, have you, with your Airbnb?
no.
Worst
Oh no.
Airbnb in the world.
Yeah. You heard about it. I didn't send you any pictures, did I?
I don't think I ever want to see them.
No, you don't.
I know
Oh
you
dear.
described and said, I don't know if I even want to show these photos, but the minute you said that, I was like, no thanks.
No. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I stayed in an Airbnb last week, and it's possibly the worst one you'll ever come across. I turned up, and to be fair to the host, the lady was nice enough. I've gone in, and I'm staying in this room, but she's got 5 cats and a dog. Now that's all fine, but the house was just filthy. Um, and obviously because I'm working away, I thought I can probably put up with it. And anyway, I stayed that night. I got up in the morning, and then in the morning, I've walked out of my room, and it walks out onto the kitchen. And on the kitchen floor, there was cat shit and cat piss all over the floor. So I've had to step over this to be able to go to the bathroom and get myself sorted, ready for work. And anyway, I came back to the place. I should have just called it then, but yeah, I went back that night, and I just thought I've only got 2 nights. Just get through this, and you'll be fine. Anyway, I got up the next morning, same thing, except I went to the bathroom, and this time there was cat crap in the bath, and that was the last straw for me. So I ended up saying to her, "Nah, I ain't doing this." I said I want a full refund. I ended up then going to a travel lodge and stayed there, but that was twice the price. So, but like I say, that was an interesting week. But yeah, don't stay there. That's my advice.
No, sounds like an absolute nightmare. But we've all been there. But
Have you?
I've
It's the
been, yeah. But I won't go into that. That was when I was younger,
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah,
and
this
that was
is.
the night after the night before. So,
Was this in this country as well?
oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say I've had a few abroad, stayed in some real dives, but um, yeah, this one is the first one I've had on Airbnb as well, where it's been that bad. So, anyway, look, enough about me and my Airbnb crappy nights. Let's see who we got up here. We got Loco Lizards, or Loco Lab, should I say? Stone Sloths, Simply 256. Rico, I have accepted you as well. So Rico is from Gangs of the Meta, and they're going to be the projects tonight, coming up and having a chat. So yeah, no, it's good to have you guys on here. Come and have a chat. Who have we got? Loco
How's it
Lab.
going?
Oh, good, mate.
Well,
Yourself?
as we've not too bad. I was going to say, as we've started with cricket and cat shit, it's probably all uphill for me, right?
This is it. We like to set the standards low. Everyone knows what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah,
So,
but doing well. How are you, mate?
yeah, all good, thanks. Like I say, I've enjoyed the sun. Like I say, I've moaned about it, but I moan about everything. because I'm
Yeah,
British.
I've been moaning about the sun, to be honest. Like it's been a bit unbearable the last few days.
Yeah, no, this is it. But like I say, that's why it's a Brit space, and we can moan and talk about the weather
That's
the
what we're
whole
good
time. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Oh, well, it's good to have you on here, mate. Like I say, it's been a little while actually since we've had a proper chat. So it'll be nice to catch up and see what's going on. Who
Yeah,
else
for
have we
sure.
got up here? We got Stone Sloss. Come and have a chat. How are you, bud?
Hello. Happy Thursday, guys.
Happy Thursday, mate. What's
Oh,
happening?
I wish I could have said happy Friday, bro, but it's not there yet. But no, I
Not
was just
quite.
listening in. Sounds like you camped up in a RSPCA or some shit there.
Do you know what? It would have been cleaner and a lot better there.
I bet. I'm doing good though. I'm excited for the space, and we was on about the Mona. I mean, a Brit space. We're in for a night of it with a British space.
Exactly.
But yeah,
This
the
is
sun's
it.
been draining. It's been nice though. It's been nice to just get home and be able to even go in the garden, and that's what I've been doing tonight. Just trying to get some DIY stuff done. Once the weather's at half decent and
Yeah.
trying to catch up on some chores. But no, other than that,
Nice.
doing all good.
Oh, good. What you been doing then? What DIY?
Oh, been doing the garden. Been redoing the whole bathroom. Been doing the kitchen. We've had people coming around to look at the house, value it, and just stuff like that. We're due for another baby,
Nice.
so at some point we're gonna have to move on, And yeah, we've got another little girl coming in late November, so an early Christmas present. So we've had our first house, and we're just obviously trying to now got to upgrade at some point.
I know exactly what you mean there.
But yeah, you soon outgrow your space. So just toys alone have kicked me out of the bedroom, But yeah, so just trying to catch up on some jobs, before it gets even busier than it already is. So
no, for sure. Like I say, I completely understand. I've got an extension going on at the minute. We're now extending the living area, and we're going to make it all open plan, kitchen, diner, living, and
nice.
Yeah, turn the old kitchen into a bedroom as well. So that's all going on at the same time. So I've been helping out as well. I've been the labourer for the builders. I've been lugging bricks around, sweeping the floor, all that sort of stuff. So
that's all right. Just when they put the bill in, just take off the labour price.
Exactly. Yeah, this is it. I'm going to take note of that actually. But, yeah, no, it's good to have you up here, mate. Like I say, it's
thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am. Like I say, have the Brits all up here. And like I say, have a good moan.
That's it.
Who else have we got up here? Look, we've got Simply256. How you doing, bud?
How we doing? Yeah, not too bad. Just dodging the sun a little bit. So, like you said, it's probably going to be a weather chat today. But dodging the sun, keeping out the heat with the fan blowing on me. I've been sat behind the computer for most of the day, and yes, just sweating in my boxer shorts. If you can just picture that.
Lovely. Yeah, I've got a good picture of it now.
But now I'm good. Yeah, it's good to see quite a few people in here as well. It's good. A lot of people turned up.
Yeah, this is it. Hopefully, it'll grow a bit more as well. So that's a good point you've picked up on. Look, let's share the room out. Let's get a few more people in here as well. Do the old emoji thing as well. So as we're talking, and then as we're talking about the weather, just hit the likes and the thumbs up, thumbs down. It doesn't matter which one. But yeah, work the algorithm. That's what we want to do tonight. Get as many people in here. And like I say, highlight basically all the projects that are up here because they're all doing some great things. But we're trying to get Rico up here as well. I think he must be having issues. I'm not quite sure. He's requested a few times. I've sent him a few invites. But I mean, Grazza, have you got anything you want to say? Anything you want to add, or shall we just crack on?
Do I want to say anything? Right? When I'm sitting there as a holder, and you found us talking about just in a brand new kitchen. I've got a lovely extension. Oh, we've all paid for that.
I wish you had. That would have been nice.
Kidding. I'm only kidding. You're all honest, isn't it? That's why I stick with you.
Yeah, this is it. No, like I say, the extension. I've been waiting 4 years for this now. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, well, it's been in a bear market, isn't it? You haven't been able to get many sales off.
Well, no, this is it. So, like I say, there might be another collection coming soon, and that should hopefully then just finish the extension off.
Pay for the roof.
But...
Slothman's just minted out 5,500. He's like, yeah, I think I'm going to move. You're going to get yourself a nice little mansion. Thanks very much, Dan, the man down there, for all your help.
Yeah.
Dan's sitting there in the one bedroom house with the wallpaper falling off.
Don't let him fool you, Grazzy, sitting in a 10-bedroom mansion. Don't let him fool you.
He loves it, doesn't he? He gives it the large, doesn't it? I'll work and I fix lampposts and things. Yeah, of course he does. Of course he does.
What do you mean,
he gets
Grazzy?
his servants bringing him his dinner and stuff and cooling him down with them big leaves. I know what he's up to.
It's your own fault, what? So you decided to set up a Brit space, right? You're now going to get what us Brits are known for, which is just complete and utter toilet humour and banter the whole space. And now you've got Richter in here, you're finished, mate. Finished. He hasn't even started yet. And I know him. You wait till he starts. You wait till him and Reese kick off together.
This is why we've got a Brit space, because it's the banner. We all know how we are, and it's just going to be full of us taking the piss out of each other. And it's probably going to be we're going to swear a lot. We're going to curse a lot tonight, I think. I've got that feeling. But yeah.
Let's just take the mick out of the Scottish and the Aussies.
Whereabouts is Loco from? I'm not sure if I heard Barnsley or if I could hear Lancashire in his accent. I was trying to work it out.
I'm in Doncaster.
Yeah, you're a lot closer than you think.
Doncaster.
Right. You're a bit more Yorkshire than me. I'm not far away from you, but I'm not sounding as Yorkshire as you. You must have some Barnsley roots.
No, I do not. That's the only thing that, like, in the whole of Yorkshire, you know, there's quite some rough spots, but there's only one place that, like, living in Doncaster, you can look down on people, and that's like people that live in Barnsley. So it's literally the only insult you could have thrown at me right there.
You know what? I spoke to someone from Barnsley once. I went, "What's the best thing you're known for?" They go, "We got a great fish and chip shop." That was it.
Oh,
I've got one friend from Barnsley, and we used to go out on the piss, and I used to go out with a Scottish guy as well, and so they'd be talking between each other, the Barnsley kid and the Scottish kid, and I'd have to translate between each other, especially once I'd had a couple of beers, and I said, I'm translating Barnsley to Scottish and Scottish to Barnsley. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm with you on the Scottish one. That one, I went and worked up there, and I had a postman come and talk to me. I had no idea what he was saying. I just nodded my head and answered yes. So he could have been saying anything to me. But yeah, that accent, I struggle with it.
Yeah, once we've had a few beers, it gets 10 times worse.
Oh, God. Yeah, look, we've got Rico up here. How you doing, bud?
Yes, I'm good, mate. How are you? But for some reason, when I was joining with the Gangs of the Meta account, it wouldn't let me speak. So I had to join my personal one. And when I was on it, I couldn't hear. The volume was at 5% and nothing I could do to change it. But it's working now. So I'll just stick on my personal account. It's fine.
Yeah, all good. It's good to have you up here anyway, mate. But
yeah, mate. Good
how's
to be
things?
All good? All good, mate. Busy. I've literally just got back from the airport. I had to pick the missus up.
Nice. Oh, hold on, where's she?
I don't know about nice. I'd rather she fucking stayed away, to be honest. It's been peaceful for a week.
Whereabouts are you from? You're down here with me, aren't you?
I'm Northamptonshire.
Oh, that's only 3/4 of an hour up. I'm down near Stansted Airport, so I'm not 2 million miles away.
Yeah, I've just been down to Luton actually, just to pick her up.
Well, never mind.
Yeah.
You need a couple of days to get over that.
Enough said.
I went to Luton once. Oh, never again.
Yeah. I drove through Luton this week actually on Monday. Drove through it. That was enough.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're slacking so many places off tonight. It's a good start. Anyway, look, I was going to start off by sort of bringing up a few different subjects to talk about, but I think we've been talking for quite a while now. So should we just get into each other's projects and let's find out what's going on, give everyone an update, and then we'll go back to a few different subjects, and then we'll start talking shit again from there. I think that sounds like a good plan to me. But Grazza, are you happy with that?
You just crack on, mate. You do what you want to do. I mean, I'm now interested in what subjects you're going to bring up. So you've done yourself by mentioning that.
Okay. Well, in that case, look, I've got a list here. Let's go to Simply first. I'm going to come to you guys, and I want to know what's going on with the project. But first thing I'm going to do is I've done like a small overview of the projects, just to try and help people before we dive into the details. So Simply 256, and again, you can correct me on this if I've got anything wrong, but it shouldn't be. So you're on Polygon. you were on Ethereum, but you've moved over to Poly. There's 16,000 in the collection. You've got a floor price of 0.3 Matic at the minute. And I would say, from what I've heard as well, the most popular trait is the skulls trait. So yeah, is that right? Am I correct on all this?
That's right. Yeah, in a nutshell. Yeah, you're correct. So,
there we go.
yeah, we started back in October last year. We launched and ended up selling out within a few days. It was a completely free mint. So it was a bit sticky at first, and then after 2 or 3 days, it was gone. And it was doing all right on Ethereum, and then the gas prices went through the roof. So it caused a bit of an issue. And then there was an issue which a lot of people suffered from. There was like a bit of an exploit, a vulnerability in a smart contract that a lot of people had used. So that was done through ThirdWeb, and ThirdWeb came forward and said, look, everybody needs to redeploy again, and you need to launch again. Tell everybody that's minted to then go back on and mint again. And then they're going to get their original NFTs, what they had in the first place. So a lot of the holders weren't happy that they'd have to pay the gas again. So we had a vote in the Discord, and quite a few people wanted to launch again on Polygon. So we did that, and it did really well on Polygon. So there was a lot of new holders came across from Polygon onto it as well. So I've got a lot of Ethereum holders on the Discord, and a lot of Polygon people on there as well. So yeah, it's just been flowing nicely since then. We've been messing about doing different raffle apps. We've got we've been trying to build a staking platform as well. So there's a few bits going on in the background. There's nothing been happening too publicly at the minute, but I've been doing a lot in the background. So I've been working with a lot of AI stuff, and trying to build raffle apps and all sorts of smart contracts and stuff. So ChatGPT is amazing. So I've been doing a lot of stuff on there. Web design, I'm in the process of redoing the whole website. So I'm gonna revamp all that as well. So I've been learning how to deploy websites on GitHub, which is something quite new to myself. So I'm not a developer, but ChatGPT can show you the way with anything really if you put your mind to it. So yeah, there's a few bits going on in the background, and the website's going to be the main thing that's happening soon.
Nice. Like I say, you've got a lot going on, really. But I was going to mention as well, whilst you were minting, you forgot to mention that you started to trend as well, didn't you, on OpenSea?
Yeah, so we were trending on OpenSea for about 3 or 4 days. So we were up there with all the massive accounts. So we got to, I think, about 4 or 5 on the trending pages there. So I got plenty of screenshots while that was happening. And so yeah, it's nice to see yourself up there with all the big massive accounts that have been there for a long time. So it did quite well. The royalties that were earned as it was trending weren't massive. It was a really small fraction. So that's another thing I've been looking into just recently was the smart contract. I don't know if you know of the ERC 721 C contract, which is the one that kind of enforces royalties for creators. So that's something that I've just been looking at recently, which I think is fair. If you're going to do an NFT project, especially if it's going to be free, you want to try and earn something from the royalties at least. So that's a good little feature that I've noticed that people have been using at the minute.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially it is on OpenSea, isn't it? Where it's optional, the royalties basically.
That's
Is that
right.
right?
Yeah, that's right. But with this new contract, if you use that one, then it enforces it and it makes it so you do get it. Apparently, I'm yet to test it. I'm yet to deploy anything with it. So it's a very interesting one.
Okay, so will OpenSea be challenging this later, do you reckon?
I'm not sure. I just know that a lot of people aren't happy that they're not getting the royalties because that's part of their income that they get from creating these collections and things. So a lot of people have been really annoyed that the royalties stopped. So this new token standard, hopefully it's gonna sort that out, and people are going to be able to earn a little bit again from it. So it's interesting to see that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's definitely something to talk about, isn't it? The royalty side of things. Maybe we can talk about that in a bit. But I was just going to say, basically, with OpenSea doing it, it opened the market for all of these other marketplaces to then come in. And I think was it Blur have been probably the biggest one to take a lot of their customers.
Yeah.
So, are you on Blur at all, or have you
It was when it was on the Ethereum side. It was on there, and again it was trending a lot. It was trending on there, but then since it's gone across to Polygon, it's not on there. So I think it's Due. Is it Due? The equivalent DEW? So for the Polygon equivalent of Blur.
Right. Okay. I'm not sure. I should know this, but I don't. So I'm gonna have a look at that one later then. But yeah. So talk to me then. So talk about the utility within the collection and what's happening there, because you talked about the raffles, but yeah.
Yeah, so the collection itself in the beginning, I didn't want there to be any utility. I didn't want to sell the idea of the project on any utility. So I put in the roadmap, look, there's no utility, no bullshit. This is just art for art's sake. So I wanted people to buy into it and to find the project just because they like the pixel art. I didn't want to promise all sorts of things that may never happen. So I just left it at that. And then slowly I was releasing a bit of utility. So I released a ERC20 token, which was a coin that they could earn if they were going to burn certain Simply NFTs. So a lot of people were upset that there were 16,000 NFTs in the collection, and a few people were saying, "Oh, it's too many. It's too many. It's got to go nowhere. This collection. There's too many." So a few people said, "Well, why don't you set up a burn mechanism so you can burn them and people can go on and get some of the not so rare traits, and then they can burn them, earn a bit of this certain token, and then use this token for a second part of the collection." So again, a lot of people have come to me and said, why don't you do a small collection on the base network or do a little one on Solana? So a few people love the skulls. And the people that have been buying the skulls have just been buying skull after skull after skull. So they've built up big collections of the skulls. So the skulls have become probably one of the most popular characters out of the whole collection. So some have said, why don't you do simply skulls on Solana or some skulls on base or something? So it's something that I'm bearing in mind. I've also been playing around with some of the meme coin smart contracts as well. Just testing. Nothing's been deployed, but just testing some interesting concepts and seeing how all that works. Because a few people have said, just do a little meme coin, do a simply meme coin. So it's again, that's something that's in the background, maybe happening.
Nice. Yeah, I see you messing about. Was it the Hot Turf Girl or whatever? Were you playing with that?
Yeah. No, somebody sent me that one. That's not my artwork, but yeah, somebody sent me. That's gone absolutely crazy. So I've been watching that as it's gone. It's probably the most viral clip that's ever happened now, I think.
Really?
It's gonna be around for a long time. Every time I put Instagram on, Facebook, Twitter, it's every second post. So I don't know if it's just showing it to me because it knows that that's what I'm into, or what. I don't know.
Yeah, that might say a bit too much about you, but yeah, no. To be fair, I've seen it everywhere as well, and there's not actually. To be fair, I think who was it I was talking to? A friend of mine. He's in his 50s now. He's 50. I can't think how old he is now. But even he turned around and was talking to me about it. I thought, wow, if you're talking about it, and he doesn't go online either, so it's
No.
gone everywhere. That's the thing. Everyone
Yeah,
knows about it.
I think it's going to be the biggest one. I'm sure we'll look back in years to come and say, look, the Hot 2 girl, she just annihilated everybody on ratings. She's she's the best.
Do you reckon she thought about this when she was doing that interview?
I don't know. I've looked at it and I thought I wonder if it's been staged. I wonder if she's practiced that and she decided that that's what she was going to say, and whether it was something that she knew was going to be a good hit. I really don't know, but she's done well anyway with it.
Yeah, this is it. It's her 15 minutes, I suppose, isn't it? Although it could be 15 years, but yeah, who knows? So yeah, talk to us then about the raffles, and like I say, what's happening there, and where are you going with it?
Yeah, so the raffle system, I started trying to develop a single raffle system. So I started looking on one of the third web tutorials of how to make that. I managed to make a single raffle, but I wanted a bigger one so I could raffle off some more in the Simply token, but also in the in Matic as well. So I spoke to a developer and we developed a raffle system so we could raffle off Simplies or any other Polygon NFTs and take payment in either Matic or in the Simply token as well. So that's something that I need to put some more raffles on it, to be fair, at the minute, but that's something that was developed. The burn to earn contract was something that was quite a big thing that took a long time to get going. But yeah, I'm going to carry on trying to make a few more dApps. There's the staking contract, which I'm going to get deployed soon, and get a third dApp on the website as well. So there's a few things that are in the pipeline.
You're keeping yourself busy then, and you're learning all these new things, which is good to see. That's it's probably something that we don't talk about, but as founders, I look at founders and they should always be looking to develop and to advance their skills.
That's right.
So that's good to see and good to hear, actually.
Yeah, no, I've always looked at different projects, and then they've said, oh, the developer's on GitHub and he's done this, he's done that, and it's always seemed really scary to look at from an outsider point of view. And I thought, no, I can't touch GitHub. It just looks too complicated. I haven't got a clue what to do. And then once you've sampled it and you've dipped your toe in the water, it's not too bad. So now I can set a website up in a few minutes, get it on there, deploy it, run it through Vercel, and have it all just up there and ready to go. It's yeah, web design. I wish I'd been a web designer in my last life. That's what I probably should have done when I was at school, because I really enjoy creating something. Just even though it's not really artistic, it's something that's been created, and you put the rounded buttons on there and everything else. It's good for you. It's really good for your mental health to create something as nice as that.
No, I'm with you on that one. I'm the dev side of things. That's not for me. I struggle with it. But then the designing side of things, I do enjoy it. Like you say, just moving buttons around, that's enough for me. I'm happy doing that sort of thing, changing layouts and the designs. It does keep you busy, and it does, yeah, it feels good when you get it right.
Yeah, it's satisfying, definitely.
Yeah, no, for sure. Has anyone got any questions, actually, while we're here? Feel free to jump in at any point. If you've got a question, just jump in. You don't need to put your hand up or anything like that. Just butt in and, yeah, fire it away. But, Grazza, you must have one or two. You've always got something.
Yeah, I've got a few things. So, Magic Eden is going to take over in a big way. So, you know, myself and Dan and a few other people, we only ever use Magic Eden to look at our collections, to organise them, to look at the floors and things. It's brilliant, and you just set it to Polygon, connect your MetaMask, it's done, and it rewards you with a diamond. So it's doing something that OpenSea doesn't do, and as far as I'm aware, it's got the
royalty switched on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with Magic Eden it's switched on automatically, and then if you don't want to pay the royalty, I think you can go on it and turn it off. But whereas OpenSea, it's automatically turned off.
Correct.
So you've got to go on and turn it on to pay the founder, which I don't think is very nice.
No, and that's why Magic Eden would take over, because it's rewarding everyone. It rewards holders. It makes it a very easy user experience for us investors to check our portfolio, look at various things. They will catch up on the Polygon. Solana's brilliant. That's what Magic Eden's come from. You can look at individual traits. How many of your items have that trait on? They can't do that at the moment on the Polygon, but they will. Whereas OpenSea is so difficult to, like, if I want to look at how many of mine have a certain trait, so difficult. So Magic Eden's great. I've just bought 8 of your little things, so you've now got a 0.4 Matic floor, whatever that means.
Lovely.
But I love the burn to earn. That's very clever.
Yeah, we did it in a way as well, because a lot of people do burn to earn, and you earn a certain amount of token for whichever NFT you burn. But I wanted to do it so we had to upload all the different traits into the smart contract. So some of the rarer traits pay out a bit extra on the burn to earn, so you can earn a bit more, and the actual amount you're going to get for each NFT that you burn comes up, and it gives you that figure before you burn.
I like that. I like the fact that you've only got 277 listed out of 16,000, 1.74%. You know, you've got over 1,600 owners as well, so you'd expect a lot more to be listed. Seriously, especially if it's free.
Yeah.
So
another thing I've noticed as well, there's not many people flooring some of the rare traits. I've been watching on a daily basis, just waiting for some of the rare ones to come on, thinking, right, I'm just waiting for one of these one of ones to come on. So there's 16 one of ones, and not one of them has been listed up for sale. So everybody that's got them is still holding them, and luckily they've not floored them, so which is pretty good.
No, that's good. Very stable. That's what you want to see. Actually, talking of the collection, one of ones and things like that, talk about the design and why you've done it how you have, the pixels.
So I started off in the beginning looking at NFTs, and like everybody does, people fall in love with the CryptoPunks. So CryptoPunks is 24 by 24 pixels. So I've first of all started to try and reproduce the CryptoPunks, and I've been drawing on a 24 by 24 pixel canvas for a long time, and then decided, right, okay, I'm going to do an NFT collection in this format, and and it was annoying me. Things weren't going right. I just kept doing it again and again, and nothing was happening that I was enjoying. I thought, right, I'm a bit pissed off with this. I'm going to try something new. So then I thought, well, what size format can I use to make something a bit more special than the 24x24 standard that everybody seems to use? So I did a 16x16 canvas, and it was difficult in the beginning, but once I'd been doing it for a few weeks, it was quite easy to do all the different traits and to make the different size characters and stuff. So it started off like that, and then it kind of just went a bit out of control. And before I knew it, I had 500 different traits, 16 different characters, 16 one-of-ones. There's good, bad, and evil in there as well. So I've set it up to be a bit like a game. So there's the evil characters, and they're all ones that expect to be evil. So there's devils and zombies and bits and bobs, and then there's robots and cyborgs in there. So there's all personality traits and magic traits as well, which I've got magic traits and some ability traits, which I'd not seen any NFT collections do at that time up until that stage. So I just wanted to gamify the whole thing a little bit.
No, definitely. You've done that, that's for sure. But yeah, no, the collection is looking good. I think, is it the devil one? I was looking at that one. Is it the devil?
Yeah, the red one.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. That one I quite like.
Oh, the devil one's nice. Yeah, he's popular.
Yeah,
the zombie. I started off with the zombie because again, CryptoPunks. There's a lot of inspiration taken from the CryptoPunks, but I wanted to do a few zombies. But before I knew it, the zombie collection itself was about 2,000 or 3,000 strong, and I'd made so many traits for it, so it ended up taking over most of the collection. So it just spread from that, really.
Nice. Yeah, no, you've got a good collection there. Strong. Well, it's definitely a strong floor as well. But yeah, no, I think you're doing really well. Like I'm saying, you're expanding as well, looking into new things. So, no, I definitely highly recommend checking you guys out. That's for sure. Has anyone got any questions they want to ask? Simply, I'll take that as a no. Dan,
I ain't got no questions. I just figured if this is a British space, I might as well join in. No.
Yeah.
Hello.
You can sit up here, mate.
I have to come and be involved. Fuck that.
Hold on, you got the thumbs down from Stone Sloths. I mean, if the boss is telling you to get down, I might have to remove
Hey, listen, he needs to respect his elders. Him.
his elders.
I love it how he makes out he's like 5 years older than me, but makes out like it's 50.
Hey, might as well be in this space.
I've heard it all before. It's all good.
I just picked up some of them simply 256s too.
Nice one, thank you for the support.
So
nice,
you know.
At the minute they're nice. They're just the cheapest chips, but there is a lot in the collection. But once they start getting burnt and there's a lot less, then hopefully it makes them a bit more rare, which is one way to look at it.
Dan, did you pick up more than me?
I don't think so.
No, that was me.
For everyone who doesn't know me and Dan, we have this battle.
How many did you pick up, Grasser?
Oh, only 8.
Ah, yeah, I picked up 9, so you know I had to do one better.
We'll be trending again on OpenSea in a few minutes.
There's one
on Magic Eden.
There's one thing you need to know about me and Dan is we do have regular long conversations and we do stuff while we're on these conversations, and that includes buying things. And we have this thing where we got to have even numbers. So I know he definitely hasn't bought 9.
No. I went to buy 12, right, and then it didn't let me.
Yeah, that was my fault. I think
Yeah.
I think I've got 12.
You know what?
I just kept clicking.
It's all right. I just picked up one more. It's got a little skull cap thing on. I'll just pick that one up.
But they're cheap and cheerful as well. They started off as free. They ended up as high as $2-3 at one bit. The floor price went up quite high. So yeah, they're not doing bad.
I like the fact you haven't got many listed. I like look, myself and Dan. We've been here a long time. We have been through the 2021 PFP disaster. And when I say disaster, anyone who's been here longer than 2-3 years knows it was a license for founders to make money and completely scam the holders and promise them lots of things that they never ever achieved.
Yeah.
And I've had many conversations with Dan where I said, never ever again. And you know, sometimes, I mean, as you rightly said, there's not that many listed. The ones that are listed are just cheap as chips. Picking up 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever is a bit of a pump. But, you know, I've always said to Dan, you've got to go with honest founders. You've got to go with people who speak from the heart and are transparent. And at the end of the day, you say, I promise nothing and who knows what I'm going to achieve. But, you know, when I was researching, I thought, well, there's nothing about this. And then you come up with the burn to earn, which is a utility which could reward people with what they get in return for the burning. That could have a value. So, and I'm sure, speaking to you for about 5 minutes, that you're going to do your best to achieve some things in the future. So
that's right. So somebody said to me in the beginning, because a few people were saying, right, okay, so what's going to happen now? We've bought into the Ethereum side of it. I've had to pay some gas, and now it's gone to Polygon. What's going to happen to the Ethereum people? Are they going to get anything in the future? And I said, look, if you get your Polygon ones, just get them. Whatever you're going to get from the airdrop, because they went on and just minted whatever they were allocated anyway. So I said, just get them, and if you don't want them, burn them. And then if after that, then you're gonna earn the Simply token, and then in the future we can use the Simply token to allocate people on whatever I'm going to mint in the future. So if it is going to be a small collection, then you're going to be there first, and it's something that's something that will happen. But we don't exactly know what yet, but it will be a utility and it will be useful.
yeah, I mean, everyone loves me, everyone hates me. I mean, I try and ignore holders. I am one, but I try. If I was you, I'd ignore me, because at the end of the day, we're a weird bunch that half of us don't know what we're talking about. Like, oh, we should have some airdrops, right? Here's your airdrop. What's the first thing they do? Go and sell the airdrop for like £1
Yeah.
and go, because they think it's 100% profit. Well, I've seen everything, and you know, I don't do general chat. I don't really get involved too much. I love the people I love. So there's certain people like Bella Bookie and Gunner, and there's lots of holders that I really get on well with, and I think they're brilliant. But there's a hell of a lot of them which I know and I just ignore because they're just in it for free stuff, and it's just the world we live in. And I don't do any of that. So
no. In the beginning, there was a lot because the whitelist and everything else went a bit crazy. So it went really viral. There was I had a guy working as a collab manager that was in the Discord, and he pulled projects from everywhere. So people were going nuts trying to get on the whitelist. And there was about 3,500 people in the Discord, and they were all just asking what's coming next, what are we getting, what do I get for free, do I get this, do I get that? And when the floor price wasn't where they expected it, they're all kicking off and saying this. And I said, look, it's a free mint. What do you want? And
well, I'll give you a perfect example. So a project that was on Ethereum was Salty Sharks, and we all minted, and then they realised because of certain things like trading card payments, transactions, and everything that you've said with regards to what is Ethereum and the gas, they decided to move to Polygon. Now, everyone who was in Salty Sharks was like, okay, that's fair enough. Now, effectively, the mint price, because of moving from Ethereum to Polygon, it went from something like $70 down to 40.
Yeah.
No one moans, and you know, you get a couple that say, "Well, I've just lost money," but sometimes if you stick with that holder, that founder, and you trust that they're making the right thing for the company and for everybody else, you go with it. And a couple of months later, he said, "Look, all of the early investors that were on Ethereum, we're going to replace their NFTs with a multipass, and that multipass is going to be worth 2 revenue shares in the future." So things will always come. I've always believed in the level balancing. I believe everything comes back, and that's why sometimes you just got to be patient and trust the process. And
The
so problem is, there's not a lot of people who've got patience.
So I've got a complete list of all the Ethereum people as well. So anybody that wasn't happy that we had to move from Ethereum to Polygon, so I've got their entire list. So if I do something in the future, I can say, look, you're all going to get an airdrop, and you'll all be happy. So that's that. So I do know who they are, and if I do something, they will be prioritised.
Yeah, and I bet they're all still with you because at the end of the day, they support you, and they're all still there supporting you what you're doing.
Yeah. A lot of the whitelist people have gone, and they were gone within a few days as soon as they realised that it wasn't going to £1 million. A lot of them bailed at that stage, which I see happening in a lot of projects. They're all there, all chatting away, and then as soon as it doesn't go their way, they're gone within a couple of days.
Exactly, and they're the people. Unfortunately, you've got to treat everyone equal, but they're the sort of people that I don't. That's what I'm talking about, where I don't really get involved with. But you'll find out when we speak to loco lizards, loco poker. Sometimes you've got to be extremely patient, extremely supportive. They're another one with a fantastic community who don't really ask when. It's just about getting involved, sticking with, and these things take time. There's no one in the world building a company, building utility takes 2 to 3 years. And Salty Sharks are doing well now, but they're 3 years old. So it shows you how long you've got to wait. Some of these people can't wait 2 days. That's the problem.
No, but at Loco Labs, I've never come across them before, so I'm just looking at their project now and seeing what's going on. So I'll jump in the Discord as well and have a little nosy.
If it wasn't for Loco Lizards, I would have, and probably one other project, I would have left Hedera 6 months ago. Seriously, I had enough. But they're the reason why I've stayed, and they're going to be phenomenal. But I'll let them tell you that.
Yeah, there's not many that can withstand a long period of time like that, especially since 2021. There's a lot of projects that have been and gone, and a lot of holders as well. If you look back at a lot of the big collections, the wallets, they're not even moving. So even the holders, they bought the stuff and they've just turned everything off. I don't know whether they've lost access to the wallets, but I looked through wallets just to see what people have got, and you can see that there's no movement. It's as if they've just turned everything off in 2022 and thought, right, sod this, I'm not winning. I'm just going to forget all about it, and they've switched everything off.
Yeah, I mean, look, I won't go too much into it because I'll sort of, I know this is going to sound flippant, but I sort of can't be bothered. But and Hedera is a very small chain, and a lot of it is controlled and manipulated by a few people. And what I love about the locos is that they just get involved with none of it. They just carry on and do what they are doing, which is building the business, building the company, building the community. And it just happens that they're on that chain, and they've got a lot of friends there. They've got a lot of people on there that love them. But I think once you start getting involved with the politics of a chain, that's when you can get in a lot of trouble. And they don't get involved with hardly any of it. They just crack on with what they've got to do. That's why they'll be successful.
Yeah, no, I see he's got XRP on there as well, which is something that I've followed since the beginning. I think I bought a bit of XRP back in 2016, and it went right up and then it dropped right down. They had a bit of a dispute with Coinbase, I think it was, so it went up to about £3, $3 something, and then it was completely slashed. But I've always kept my eye on it, and always just hoped that it's going to go back up again. But it's interesting to know that there's NFT projects working with it.
Yeah, and they done a little bit on Avalanche, and they may well have some business in the future with Sol. But I don't go for chains. I go for businesses, companies, projects. That's what I look for. I look for founders that are going to be here, that aren't going to give up, that want to achieve something. And then it's easy to support those people. The ones that fade away on every chain, and that's why there isn't one chain that hasn't got its flaws, and there isn't one chain that has it all. And I think there's some people who just are chain agnostic, they never move off that chain. And I think that creates a huge amount of problems. I think they miss a lot of opportunities as well.
I'd agree.
So I'm on everything. I don't care. I don't care what you're on. I mean, if it's too difficult the chain to get on, which I think Cadena was a really tough one or something like that, where I had to swap about 3 times to get their own currency on their own wallet, and it was really difficult. Apart from that, everything's fairly easy, but there's plenty of scams on lots of different projects. There's plenty of rugs, but there's also some absolute gems on each of the chains, and that's what I look for.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Grazza. And Cadena as well. I struggled with that one big time. I think I sat there for a few hours trying to figure it all out, having to watch videos and really do my research and like I say, just to get their currency. It was just a nightmare.
That was one. The other one was that Star one. I think Doghouse originally were on it. Starlink or something weird.
Yeah. That's one of the is that one of the EVM chains, isn't it?
Something like that.
But yeah, I struggled with that.
There was a bit of something that I got on the File network. It was a meme coin that was on the File chain, and that was a nightmare. So you had to get some currency, and then you had to swap it with another wallet. You put it in your MetaMask first, swap it to File coin, and then use another wallet to swap it to something else. And then with that wallet, then you could use it on Uniswap, which no, it's been an absolute nightmare. But there's a few bits popping up on the File network, but I don't know what the File coin is doing. It seems to be just a bit stagnant at the minute.
Yeah. Oh god. Anyway, simply thank you ever so much for coming up and having a chat with us.
That's all right. Sorry for rambling on a little bit, but please, thank you for having us on, and I'm interested to hear what everybody else has got to say.
Yeah, no, it's good to have you up here, and like I say, we can talk for hours, which is what it's about. And I think, like I say, I'm going to say it, but there's something about a Brit space. Like I say, when us Brits get together, we do just have that connection, I think, where we can just keep things going for hours. So, which is why I've done this space. It's just nice to get us all in here. But yeah, like I say, go and check out Simply. Again, Graz has got involved. Loco Labs have got involved. Dan has got involved as well. So the floor is moving up, and the battle has begun between Grazza and Dan. We'll see how many they've got by the end of the night. But yeah, no, thank you again, Simply. And we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, definitely. I'll try and get on a bit sooner, because it has been a long time since I've been on any space. I've tried to cut down on Twitter, and because you can spend a bit too much time on Twitter, it goes nowhere the time when you're just scrolling through Twitter. So I've not been on it as much, but definitely the spaces. I've not been on any spaces. This is probably the first space I've been on in about 2 months. I'd say 2-3 months. So yeah, I'm interested to come back again. Definitely.
Good. Yeah, well, we'll have you on anytime. You know that. But we're going to head over to Stone Sloths now. And like I say, if anybody's got any questions, you don't need to put your hand up. Just butt in and ask your questions.
Boo!
What was that, Dan?
No, I'm just joking. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's it? Don't bother with the cricket.
Oh, okay.
Just turn it off. Don't even bother.
Yeah, we'll ignore the cricket. No more updates, please, Grazza. But anyway,
don't need to. We're getting absolutely slaughtered. It's literally all over. So forget about that.
So that's another sport we're terrible at. Anyway, Reese, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing real well, thank you. Love what Simply doing. I know him quite well, and he definitely put in the work. And I mean, he definitely knows a lot about the space and all the ins and outs and stuff, and especially learning all that backing kind of stuff. For a founder to know and to do is very, very good. So no, I love what he's doing and what he's got going on. It's interesting. And I'm I would say I'm a sole maxi. Definitely, I don't dive into too many chains, but I mean the Polygon probably is the next one easiest for me to kind of understand and get into. So yeah, I do enjoy what he's doing, and the art is cool. Pixel art is always something different and nice to look at.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, mate. So anyway, look, I'm gonna keep things moving. I'm gonna do an overview of Stone Sloths. Again, you can correct me if I'm wrong on anything. You guys have got so much going on as well. As I was going through things, I was like, oh god, I need to put this in and put this in, and so I've tried to reduce it down as much as I can. But you're on the Solana chain. You've got 2 collections as well, haven't you? So
Correct.
You've got the OG collection and you've got the V2 collection. The floor price on the V2 is 0.2 Sol, and the OG is 0.3. And then the traits as well. So I only done the V2. So the main traits are probably the gas mask and the weed jar. Am I right in saying that?
Yep, spot on with that one.
Perfect. So yeah. And what was the size again? Just tell me the sizes.
So for the OG collection, we originally brought out 555 NFTs. I think someone might have burnt a couple. So obviously when we've updated the hash and everything on Magic Eden, it's actually 553. But the V2s is 5,555.
Lovely. There we go. So yeah, go on then. Tell us all about Stone Sloths.
So I'll try and keep it most up to date. Obviously, that's the most exciting part. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Reese, also known as Sid in the Discords. We've been around for 2 years, and I basically came from just a holder investor point. I've been over it many times, and everyone's been through the same old crap with the rugs, and like we've mentioned, the 2021 hype. not that I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just getting FOMO'd into these silly collections and these silly projects, just promising the world and delivering absolutely nothing. So I took a little step back away from the space, to be fair, and I was going to call it a day because I'd put a lot of money into it, and kind of got a little bit too deep and a little bit too invested and wasn't spending the time with the family and whatnot. And I just thought I need to take a step back. But then I kind of realized I wanted to hop into a founder's shoes and see why people was doing this and kind of try and understand why people was rugging and how hard it was, go through the highs and the lows, experience everything from actually being a founder. And I always say, to this day, I understand why some people might have done, because it is really, really hard. But to rug a project when you've got a community like that I haven't found a reason to do so. So we brought out the OG collection. So I did the artwork. We used third-party platforms to actually launch it. As I said, I'm not a developer or anything like that. So it was super easy for me, being a new founder, to just use those platforms that were available. So we minted out the OGs 2 years ago at 0.1 Sol, and that was probably the bear market, like the bottom of the bear. I think Solana was around $9. So we minted out that collection within a couple of months, and that had no utility. That was just building a platform, building a foundation, and kind of a safe place for people to come in. I was hopping into spaces and VCs and really telling the people that this is something that I'm going to put everything into. Give it 100% effort. I was a very good community member. I'd like to say I was showing up, shilling all these projects, and I thought if I put the work into my own project, then it could be very successful. So we minted out that collection, and pretty much with the OGs, we wanted to obviously bring in an artist. We wanted to bring in a developer and kind of do the V2 collection at a much higher standard. And originally it was going to be a burn to mint, but with the OGs, obviously I did the artwork and the floor price went absolutely through the roof. We was doing the Monet raffles and a couple of them was hitting over 20 Sol, and I really didn't want to burn them. Once they've gone, they've gone. And me doing it personally and all the artwork, I wanted to hold on to that forever. So the main utility with the OGs was pretty much that you got a V2 airdrop absolutely for free. So however many OGs you held, you got the V2s to correspond with those. And we carried on both collections. So as of now, we do run both collections. So that leads us on to the V2 collection. We did up the collection size to 5,555, and we started minting last October. We started the mint off at 1 Sol, just due to the market. We was always doing it on a dollar value of around $35 to $40. And obviously we had a insane pump, so we reduced the mint to 0.3 Sol, and we pretty much saw out the whole mint throughout 0.3. And I want to say it's a couple of weeks ago now, I don't know, these days are mingling up, but we managed to fully mint out the collection. So to mint out a 5,500 collection in the kind of market that we're in now in the NFT scene, was outstanding. I'm still taken back by it now. I wake up every morning, I'm getting ready to pop off a mint bounty and whatnot, but unfortunately this is not available. So with the V2 collection comes all of the utility for the project, which pretty much wanted to be revenue share. I always wanted to give back to the holders as much as possible, but revenue share was always a key aspect of the project. And that was mainly going to be coming from secondary sale income, merchandise, which we have our t-shirts, our clothing out, and also the sloth rolling papers. And that's kind of evolved from being a merchandise now to an actual product that we sell through the business. So the rolling papers are in around 50 to 60 different stores now that I know of selling. They have gone to wholesalers, so they get distributed. Obviously, once they've got them, they get distributed to wherever they go. I have no control, and I'm not 100% sure where, but for the stores that I know of, we're looking around 50 to 60 stores. So with the rolling paper side of things, that again was a huge achievement for us as a community, and it has been bringing in the revenue. Of course, being Stone Sloths, we wanted to. That's the name. We're a cannabis-based project. In the UK, it's impossible to do, but that's kind of the reason I went for that. Because no one's actually topping the change. There's not many people out there doing it because it's not possible to do so. So there's not really a competition as such. So I wanted to bring out something that obviously kind of connected us within the cannabis industry. So we managed to get 2 partnerships, one in Canada and one in Denver as of now, which just gives everyone in those legal states and the holders some real nice discounts on products. We have white label products, so we do have some Stone Sloths products. Obviously, they manufacture and produce them and just sell them on as ours. And they take a little fee of that, and then obviously everything else goes back to us and the holders get discounts. And in time to come, whether it may be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, it doesn't really matter to me because I'll be here for when it comes. But once it does become legal, we'll be hitting that industry too, and hopefully be very, very established and well known. and kind of have the upper hand going into the market. You know, some of these companies will be starting up as brand new companies, which obviously I know all about. It's super hard to get out there and the recognition, but by the time that comes, I'm hoping we'll have established the brand and the name of Sloth Vapes and the Stone Sloth side of things. So I'll get into the Sloth Vapes, how that came about. So I would say around 6 or 7 months ago now, me and Dan was putting our heads together and trying to think of some real nice utilities, you know, to up the revenue share. And we wanted to bring out our own vape juice business. So I must have sent 100 emails, phone calls, and pretty much 99% of them was non-replies or just people weren't interested. You know, I wanted to bring the background of Web3 and how we came about, you know, trying to open people's eyes to the space, but they just weren't interested, unfortunately. And I reached out to the biggest manufacturer in the UK, thinking it was going to be the same old answer, you know, just not interested or no, it's not for us. But luckily they was very, very open-minded, took everything on board that we said and loved the artwork, loved obviously how we was approaching things, and they actually have now manufactured our vape juice. So within the past 4 months, we are now a fully legal licensed vape juice company. So we have 5 different flavors of our vape juice, which are now across about 40 to 50 different stores that I know of, and we've just landed within the last week a major wholesale contract. So loads and loads of bottles have been over to those guys. They've been doing the back end work, obviously get them onto the website, and it will go live today, if not tomorrow morning. So I'm super excited. They'll be distributing that product to they deal with around 30,000 different stores across the UK alone. So I mean the exposure that we're going to be getting from those guys is unreal. And I think if I approach them personally, we probably wouldn't have got the yes and the okay, but the manufacturers who made the juice for us actually reached out to those guys on behalf of us and obviously mentioned who we were. The product was via those guys, so they know it was a super high end quality product, and they've took us under their wing as well. So promoting a business and trying to start it from the ground up is super hard, but having that backing of the manufacturers and also this wholesalers now the exposure is gonna be insane. So I'm hoping the months to come are gonna definitely have a massive increase in sales, not just sales, but just exposure and eyes and people coming through to the website. So 50% of all of the profits through the Web2 business, through secondary sales and anything we do within the project all goes back to the holders. So 10% initially will go to the OG holders, and that's where we've managed to up the utility for those OGs. For holding those, you get initial 10% distributed to the OG holders. Another 10% will be to the weed jar trait, which you mentioned, and also to the one-of-ones in the collection, which is only 141 total between the traits and the one-of-ones. So you can understand that the amount getting distributed to those are going to be quite significant. And then the rest of the 80% just gets individually shared between the rest of the collection. So which will be 80% of the funds will go to the rest of the V2 collection, which it will probably looking at around 5,000, obviously. So it gets split up. It gets chopped up pretty thin once you start coming to a size like that. But that's where the OGs come in clutch, the weed jars and all the special traits. So it definitely keeps people looking on the floor for those. I've now attended 5 IRL events. So we've been managing to showcase the product, talk to other companies within the industry. And again, exposure. It's a long road ahead. And this is something that I want to do forever. This isn't a 5-year, 10-year goal. This is something that I really want to put my whole life and dedication to and try and do this as a full-time job. At the minute, I obviously work currently IRL. So once I get home, it's to Web3 work. But I'd love to wake up in the morning and solely do this. And I think how the business is going, at some point within the next couple of years, that will be achievable. So within the first 2 months of having the product in stores, I mean, it's been out for 4 months, but with the first month was trying to reach out to companies, you know, and get them on board and take the product. So pretty much that's been happening consistently for the past 2 months. We've actually managed to nail just over now $3,000 of net profit. So the first monthly revenue share will be 50% of that amount, and that's set to kick in on the 1st of July. So actually, very soon, within the next 5 days, we'll be kicking off the revenue shares. So how that's going to work is at the minute, you'll be able to stake both collections for our in-Discord token, which is the Sloth token, which has no liquidity to it, but it does hold value in many other ways. So we have the Sloth shop, which you can come in and purchase NFTs from not only the Sloths, but other projects too, other Web3 assets, and also with the Sloth raffles, you can once we pop them off, you can use the token to purchase raffle tickets, and our trait shop that's currently being worked on in the back end, which is coming out I would say a week after we kick off the revenue shares. The trait shop will be all up and running. and you'll be able to purchase traits all through the token to increase revenue share, to increase your actual sloth earning amount. All the traits will be stakeable, so you manage to get a little bonus on top of your NFTs staking per day. So you'll also, once you've got them in the staking platform, we're going to have the liquidity pool for the revenue share alongside it, so you don't have to do anything. The NFTs are in the staking platform, you'll earn the sloth token and also the revenue share daily. And this is going to be every single month. So at the end of the month, you'll be able to claim. You can claim every day if you'd like to, but to amount obviously to stack it up a little bit more at the end of the month, you'll be able to claim. Then the very next day, we'll go into the next month, and it's all over again. So the nice thing that we've been able to do with the revenue shares is, at the minute, there's about 90% of both collections actually staked as of now. So the floors are super, super thin. But what we're going to be doing with the revenue share, so for those that are listed on the secondary market, they're still going to actually be earning an amount, because each NFT is going to be allocated an amount of the revenue share. But say if yours are staked for a week and you take them out of the staking pool and want to list them on Magic Eden for 2 days or a week, say, and if it doesn't sell and you put them back into the staking platform, they'll just start earning from where they left off. But those days that they was absent from the staking platform, that liquidity will be left in the pot at the end of the month. So if you take it out of the staking pool for 2 days, in general, you'll just not earn the revenue share for those 2 days it was listed. So at the end of the month, once we have, let's just say there's 2,500, half the collection listed, for instance, those NFTs will be earning an amount, but at the end of the month, they'll be left in the liquidity pool because they won't be able to claim it. So then we're going to distribute it to those holders that have been staking for the whole month. So even though your NFTs will be allocated a certain amount, it doesn't actually mean that they're going to earn that specific number. That will increase. So I'm hoping this is going to have a nice benefit, not just solely on the floor price, but also on how many are listed. Like I said, it's super thin as of now. I think we've only got around 80 to 90 listed out of the 5,500. So you definitely could see people have got them staked, getting ready for the revenue shares to kick in. Like I say, that'll be kicking off on the 1st of July. All being well, like I said, it's very, very tough starting a business, but for the past few months of how we've been growing, I'm super excited for the future, to have them revenue shares start doubling up, tripling up, and at some point to be very, very significant in the amount that we're taking in. Like I say, for the past 2 months to generate over $3,000 net profit is insane. I was kind of worrying that obviously with a new brand and products, it's going to be hard to push out and sell, but we've done real well within the past 2 months, and that's just a glimpse at the potential that we have, when we bring out different flavors and we expand the business, and hopefully at some point we'll definitely try and look at running the business overseas, because the shipping expenses is quite expensive once the people around the world want to purchase the products. So if we can start distributing from overseas and have other people doing that for us, which the people in the community are more than on board of doing, and we can set up the website where you can pay. Obviously, they can pay in the dollars on the Web2 website now, but they just pay a lot more for the shipping. We will be able to allocate those and actually distribute them from other states. So, for instance, the US or over in Australia and stuff like that. It just makes it a lot easier on our side of things and the shipping costs. So that will be bringing in 90% of the revenue, pretty much our business, which is super nice because you have sustainability. Web3 is a crazy, crazy world, and the market can crash overnight. It could boom overnight at the end of the day, but it's just unpredictable. So having the Web2 business and the sustainability, and I would say a huge audience. Web3 seems big, but it's very, very small and we're very early. So having the backing of Web2, just your local shops where people are picking up the daily groceries, and vape stores, which are solely vape shops. People are going in there only buying vapes. And when they see our product, it's something different, it's something fresh. And like I said, the flavors are a 10 out of 10. They're very, very high-end flavors, the quality product, and at a super affordable price. We're very competitive within the market. And that's because the markup on the products is huge, and at the end of the day, we don't want to be greedy. We want to get known. We want people to purchase the product. So coming in at a nice entry price to help grow and expand is definitely key. So that's pretty much where we are up to today. Is starting the revenue shares within the next week, giving back to the holders. We've pushed through the mint 5,500. It seemed like years, but in theory, it was only coming up to 6 months. And I think within the market that we've had is tremendous, and we wouldn't be here without the community setting up a business, an IRL business, which I've always wanted to do, but never had the funds. I've got to look after my family, I've got to keep a roof over the head, and the funds just aren't there. So having the backing of Web3 and people that support the vision and are here for it has got us where we are today. So, like I said, I'm super excited to start the revenue shares and give back to those supporters, and I'm hoping to onboard. The hold account is rising significantly daily. The sweeps are coming in. You can't mint them anymore, so we are seeing the sweeps coming in, and it's nice to see people, and definitely trying to stack up those traits and getting ready for the rev shares. But there's so much more to come. This is just a vape business. We have so many ideas of just products in general, just the sloth brand. Let's forget about the vape. Let's forget about the stone. Just the sloth brand as a whole, with toys or just anything. It's endless. So we're definitely here for a long haul. Any questions, fire away. I'm more than happy to answer. There's probably a whole load I've missed out, but yeah, that's the rundown of the sloths and where we are today. Pretty much, that's an up-to-date little spiel.
That was a great pitch.
Thank you, bro. I mean, I do many spaces, but yeah, it's second nature. It's all I think about. It's the last thing I do when I go to bed, and the first thing I do when I wake up. That's what I say. And
I was writing down questions as we were going along, but then you kind of answered them all. But just touching on the products you've got at the moment, the juice, right?
Yeah.
And are you currently selling that in the UK, or are you exporting it as well?
We are. So it is shippable worldwide. So it's zero nicotine. So it's the 50ml short fill. So without nicotine in the product, it gives us the reach worldwide. There's no legalities that we have to worry about. But the nic shots do come free, but they're not within the product, which makes things a whole load easier. So we go on. Sorry.
Did you say you partnered with someone already in Canada?
Yes, we have a Canada partnership and also out in Denver for the cannabis side of things. Yes.
Okay. Do you know Reefers from Perfect Puff Club or Swiss from Vibe Tribe?
I've spoke with the Reefers guys. I'm not sure about the other project that you said, but I have spoke with the Reefers, and also we're in talks with the guys over from Pufters. They have a vape store and their own vape shop.
Yeah, Swiss Soul. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even know there was called that. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, to answer the question, I'm in talks with both of them. I get on a lot with those guys over in Pufters. Yeah.
Perfect. I was going to say I'll connect you because they're both partners to us. But yep,
you're great there. Stuff.
2 steps ahead.
That's amazing. No, but like I said, it was something. Obviously, being Stone Sloth, I wanted to bring out that side of things, And there's a lot of people in the US, and obviously, as who we are, the community, a lot of them do smoke cannabis, and it's nice to give those guys the option to actually use those companies. And for those in the UK, we have the Sloth vapes, and once you get them bottles, who knows what you put in them? That's down to you guys. So that's all I can say on that.
And just lastly, about your rev share, what token are you paying that out in? Is that in the Sloth token?
No, so the Sloth token is.
You said no liquidity, didn't you? Actually?
No liquidity. Yeah, it's mainly just in Discord. I'm glad that you brought it up. I'll quickly touch on it and then I'll answer the question. So the Sloth token, like I said, it is in Discord, but what we've managed to do is actually integrate it into the Web2 website. So once you have a nice amount that you've got from the staking, you can actually send it over to the Web2 website. Once you've created an account with us, it's just an email and password, super easy. You can actually purchase all of our products with the token. So once you've got your amount, you send it over to the website and you can purchase all of our products for absolutely free just through using the token. When it comes to revenue share, the first month, it was always the aim to pay out in USDC. So this first month is going to be USDC. Whether we revert to Sol, I'm not 100% sure. We'll see how we get on with the first few coming months, but the initial month will be paid out in USDC in the dollar.
Got you. Perfect.
Any more questions at all? I think you've covered everything.
I try. Like I said, there's so much going on right now. It's bonkers. But yeah, I mean, pretty much for me, I've not taken a step back from Web3, man. I'm in the Discord 24/7, but I'm definitely reaching out. I have pretty much meetings set up all weekend with different vape stores. Like I said, we managed to land that huge wholesalers contract, which again is insane. I always go by the rule of if you don't ask, you don't get. And why not reach out to these big companies? It's something different, something they've not seen before. And we got the same reply from those guys. So a huge parcel got sent out to those last week. Like I said, they're just on the back end updating the images, the information, and hopefully we're going to reach around 30,000 different more stores that I can't possibly reach to. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. Don't ask, don't get. I think that's probably something that every founder, me included, we should always think like that, So I just think it's great what you guys have done, especially when, like I say, you look back at when you guys joined us, where you were, and within a year, what you've done. It's incredible. So no, well played. You've done really well, and I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to the rev share as well.
Yeah, I mean, within the community, they've never been pushy. They've never been when's this, when's that. That they know that we're working. They know that we're building. And once Mint Out happened, it was something that, I mean, like I mentioned on Spaces, that we all dream of an overnight sellout and the hype and everything like that. But at the end of the day, that wouldn't have given me the time to build the business, to purchase the product, to get it into stores. So having the organic growth of the Mint has allowed us to not put the revenue shares on 6 months hold to try and sell, minting out, and then it's like, right, now we try and sell the product to bring in the revenue share. That would just tenfold the pressure. So within the past few months, like I say, we've been building the pot, and 2 weeks after mint out, we're managing to kick off the revenue shares on the 1st of July. So that's going to be a super big day for us all. And I'm excited, the community have been behind us. So it's now time for me to give back to those guys.
Yeah, I think that you've picked up on a good point there as well. Like the fact that the holders and the people that are minting, nobody has been worried about like the period in which it's taken to mint out. Everyone's been happy. Do you know what I mean? That's a good sign. You've got good holders there who know exactly what you're about, who are there for the right reasons. And again, they're patient. They know what they're there for. They're waiting for potentially that rev share, and the floor price is just going to go through the roof. The more, like you say, once you get that exposure, especially in Web 2, it's going to be huge. And that's the thing. I suppose that's probably where you're going to be looking next, is it to try and get the Web 2 users, so the people who are using your products, to get them to come in and get involved with the community in Discord. Is that something that you've probably looked at?
Exactly, yeah. So within all of our products, we have the QR codes and everything. So it's such an easy scan straight to the website. And that's such a nice a place for people on the website. We obviously have the products and whatnot, but we have everything regarding the staking, regarding the NFTs, how to purchase the NFTs, and kind of a little rundown of people. So we actually brought out specific traits. So for the 5 flavors that we have right now, we got the artist to create 5 different skins. So within the skins, you actually have the vape juice flavor. It's cool. They're see-through, and say for strawberry lemonade, you have the strawberries and lemonade. And once you actually have that skin on your NFT, you're able to earn that vape juice absolutely free every single month. So I'm hoping that the Web2 people, once we get obviously the returning customers, and this is something that the Web2 people come to us on whether it be daily or every other week, just the returning customer side of things, is they're going to start looking into the Web3 and thinking, I can get this for free just by holding that specific skin. So I'm really hoping we can definitely migrate those guys into Web3. And it's going to be tough because a lot of people are clueless to it, and a lot of people don't want to enter the space. But the best of both worlds. If they do, it's amazing, and if they don't, we still have the backing from those guys in Web2, which brings the revenue for me to distribute back to Web3.
Yeah, exactly that. Actually, just interested to know, on your website, do you state that they're NFTs, or do you call them digital assets?
So the header of the whole, when it brings up the NFTs and the secondary sales and the marketplaces and everything like that, they are actually stated as digital assets. We do mention NFTs obviously within them, because I think people kind of understand what an NFT is more than a digital asset as such, because people, like I say, in the 2021 side of things, you could go to anyone in the general public and have you heard of an NFT? And they will say, yeah, they have no idea what it is, but they'll have heard of it. So yeah, they are stated as digital assets. But yeah, we do mention the NFT side of things.
I think that's a wise move, because NFTs have got a bad name. Regardless of what we all think, if you go and speak to some random person who doesn't understand what's going on, if you say NFTs, because of the press that they've got, they instantly have this negative reaction to it. So just by changing that to digital asset, it immediately takes that negative feeling away, and they're more open to it. That's why I mentioned it, and it's like I said, you're already on it, which is great to hear. But yeah, people seem to have, if you mention crypto or NFTs, like I say, people just seem to have this negative reaction to it, and so you have to be clever in the way that you word it.
And that's what we found a lot of when we was reaching out to these Web2 companies and the vape industry, that once you start mentioning, obviously we was backed by Web3 and we've built the business through crypto, and they just wasn't interested, probably because they didn't understand it. But I think these guys who we did go with, as they are the leading manufacturers in the UK, they're always going to want to stay where they are. They're going to want to top the chains, and at the end of the day, it is going to be the future. Whether it be crypto, digital assets, anything like that. So for those guys to take us under their wing too is keeping those guys one step ahead of everyone else. And I'm like I say, I can't thank them enough. And like I say, they definitely think of me. Go on.
Do you know if you're the first Web3 project or Web3 business that they've supplied for or managed?
Yes, I want to say yes. I asked them, and they did say yes.
Perfect.
So,
I hope you're
like
advertising that everywhere.
To be honest with you, I actually haven't. I really haven't. But it is a definite fact that we do need to look into. But yeah, even I'll tell you this. This is a fact. This is 100% truth. So once we obviously got to the nitty gritty and finalized the deals and got the products and everything sorted, the guy asked me how to open up a wallet. I showed him how to open up a wallet. I sent him over a V2 for free just to kind of get him in, and then he went and minted one. And so now the manufacturer now holds a wallet with the sloths in. So yeah, that's just how it starts, and now he's looking into crypto, and he does message me pretty much daily saying, what are you looking into, or what meme coin. He kind of got drawn into the meme coin trend, because obviously it's a lot what he sees on X, but I've told him, you gotta do your research on those things. But he's asking questions, and that's what we need, to bring people in.
Brilliant. There you go. And that's the thing. You've done it there with just that one manufacturer and that one person you've brought in, but they're now going to pass that message on to everybody else that they're involved with. So I just see this. It's like a snowball effect, isn't it? It's slowly just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And you're the first to be involved with this big manufacturer as well. That's huge.
It is, yeah. And
we do showcase the whole of the UK as well, is it?
The whole of the UK, yeah. They manufacture for thousands of people. Other companies, should I say, they do manufacture for thousands, and we was definitely the first. I did ask that because once we sent over, obviously Dan couldn't have done it without him. He got all the graphics and everything sorted and all the labels. And as soon as I sent them over to him, the questions was asked like, what are those and what's the sloths about? And so yeah, like I say, an animal and a sloth is not the forefront of what you'd normally see on a vape juice bottle. So yeah, they did clarify it was the first, and like I said, they were super on board with it being so different, and eye catching. People walk into the stores and they just see the fruits on the front labeling but this is something different, with the skins and having the fruits within the skins of the NFTs. It's just very, very eye catching.
Definitely. No, you've done a great job there, Dan. Well done, mate. No, it's just incredible what you guys have done. And anyway, I'm going to pass it on to somebody else. Grazza, you must have a question. Come on. What you got for me?
That's the problem. I don't have any questions because I know them really, really well, and I'm a big holder there. But all I'll say is it's not as difficult as you think. It's just having the right mentality. So if you're an honest founder, great, ticking the box, right? There's a few honest founders around, and if you're transparent with people, brilliant. That's another trait. You've got to have some sort of sales about you. You've got to know how to work the audience, but you've also got to know that you're in it for yourself and you're in it for the holders. And if everybody wins, that's the perfect formula. And it's very hard to get. You either get one or the other. You either get the founders, doing really well, and then the holders are moaning, or you get the holders doing really well and there's no money for the project. It's very difficult. And I think Stone Sloths have got it really, really well. But eventually there's got to be something, a purpose to what you do. There has to be and they found the purpose in the vape liquids. Now, they never set out to do that. They found it along the journey. And so there's people have written old books on it. It's not about planning like the old days of the roadmaps. They're rubbish. You're never going to stick to a roadmap. So I quite like what Simply, which is, well, we're going to have a roadmap, because what he's acknowledging there is like, you're never going to end up where you set off to be. It's the journey. And if you can make the journey fun for everybody, so having regular bounties, having your eye on the ball, being around constantly is a real positive thing. You will find your niche, and when you find the niche, though, you've got to go two hands in with it. And this vape dupe could be a world beater. The art's great, the packaging's great. You know, I would expect many different flavors. I could see this going global. I could see this being a huge brand. It may not succeed because it's very tough. Every industry is very competitive. You've got lots of people who are going to try and copy you. They're going to try and undercut you, all these things. But if you seriously believe in what you do, people will follow you. And I just think that it's not as difficult as a lot of people make out. It's just sometimes difficult to vision in your head the product or the service or what you want to achieve. But you see, if you don't start, you're never going to get there. And that's where the honesty, the transparency, and never giving up comes in. And I've seen a lot of projects suffer over the last year and a half. I see a lot of projects suffering now, but I see a few of them with green shoots. I see a few of them where they've pivoted 10 times and they're now starting to find what I believe could be the champion of them. And you just got to try different things, and you've got to be honest with people. And if it doesn't work, you've got to pack it in and try something else. But the vape juice and what they're achieving could be amazing. So it's, as I said, it's not really questions as such. It's more observations and what I can see other projects and companies trying to achieve. But yeah, very good salespeople. Very good salespeople. Yeah. They know, you know, and the holders do benefit and have benefited for over a year. I love the fact they started the pre-sale well before mint and offer bounties on the pre-sale. You know, that's sensible. That's sensible to get orders up front before you start thinking about minting. That's clever. It also gets people really excited building up to the mint, knowing they're already going to receive 20, 30, 40, 50. Theoretically, you say for nothing, but when you're like, it's going to be a one sole mint price, but I'm going to do 0.7 now. And actually, if you do 0.7 now, I'm going to give you one for free as well. Now you can see the sort of things that I love to see in owners, in founders, because you don't need to mint all 5,500. You don't need that amount of money to take yourselves forward. You need probably half of it. So now you're starting to see from the holder's perspective how they can benefit. It's just great. I think they're terrific.
Completely agree with you, Grazza. Spot on, mate. I can't add any more to that, really.
Wise words.
Exactly.
Well, I can add one more thing. I want to see a sloth plushie with extendable arms and legs. That's what I want to see.
We will make
I'll never
one
talk
of one
about sloths again once they're out.
But that's what I mean. I know we talk about it. Like I said, forget the sloth vapes, forget the stone sloth aspect. Just the sloth brand that we could do is inevitable. And yeah, the sky's the limit. And I'll make sure that we get one of those for you, Grazza, 100%.
I'll have one as well.
I mean, don't forget, you've still got the other side, which is the weed. And yes, we can't do it in the UK, but you know, you've got contacts in Denver. And I won't go too much into it, but you know, there's no reason why you can't effectively, with the contacts, the distribution, costs, talking about drug deals, you could actually empower a project that may already be in America, that may have great artwork, that may have a great community, but not a lot of funds. And you could effectively work with those people. They could brand it, they could release it into the States, but you get quite a percentage of that because you've set it all up. So it's just the legal side of how that relates to the UK. But you know, there's plenty of ways you can pivot, and that's beautiful because you've got options now, which when you had an OG collection of 500 and thinking I'm doing this and you know I'm trying to build a community, that's tough to see those options. Now you've got probably more options than you thought you'd have at this point.
Yeah, no, 100%, definitely. I mean, when we minted out those 555 for 0.1, it didn't even bring in massive amount of funds. I mean, that managed to bring the V2s obviously alive, you know, with the artist and the developer, and it was just nice, you know, to to build a community, and also you've got to have these goals. You've got to have goals to hit. If you don't have goals, you're just going to be in the same place every single day, you know. And I know we've been on a space and people was talking about fear and whatnot, but at the end of the day, if you don't take the leap, you'll never find out. And luckily, we took that leap, and now we have a business, a fully licensed business that's thriving and is going to do for the future. And I'm going to make sure that I put 110% effort into every single day. You know, I mean, literally, when I'm not in the Discord, I'm on calls or emails with manufacturers, not manufacturers, sorry, with wholesalers and other companies just to get the exposure. I have a couple coming up this weekend as well, so yeah, I'm excited. It gets me through the work week, you know. Coming to this weekend, it's like, right, we've got another meeting, we've got another chance to get exposure and to grow out the business, and that's what we need, you know, and that's definitely what's going to help us in the long run. But for where we're sitting at now is, yeah, very, very comfortable. It takes a lot of pressure off me on that side of things, knowing that we've got those backings already, and that's just the vape juice. We've got the rolling papers as well, doing tremendous. So it's nice to have several products, you know, and people. The stores are asking me like, when can we get the next order? When can we get the next order? So it's nice to see people coming back wanting more, you know.
Well, it's good that you minted out. Look, I've got my bag, and other people have got their bag, and you've minted out. Therefore, what am I going to do with my time? What are you going to do with the time that was spent on the bounties and the minting and the releasing? Now it can be spent in supporting you and you supporting yourself in growing this thing. And you know, as you said, there's an expo in October. I'll come to that. I'll have a walk around, talk to some people, and you know, now it's a case of really getting stuck in and help promoting the Sloth Vape brand.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, I couldn't have done this on my own. There would be no way that just me alone would be able to have accomplished what we've accomplished. So as a community, I'm definitely looking forward to rewarding those guys. You know, they've stuck through us and they've got us where we are today. And this is just the start. It's crazy to think that we've minted out the OGs, we've minted out the V2s, but we're still saying that this is just the start, because it really is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the expo in October. If you can join us, that would be amazing. That'd be super cool. But like I said, these are the IRL events that we're attending. Every single time that we do them, they're popping off even more, and people coming back and, oh, you was here last time, and it's just nice to see people, you know, starting to recognise us.
Yeah, but look, you've done everything that was effectively you promised and you've asked. It's now on us holders, right? The responsibility of growing the business falls on you, right? You're the CEO. You're the one that answers to nobody. You're the one who has to answer to everybody. It's now we have a huge responsibility, and when we speak to Loco, you'll start to figure this out. So, you know, now it's a time for us holders to be supportive, and it's not just supportive as in putting out tweets or trying to promote. It's also being we have a responsibility, I believe, to look after that project. Now, I would like nothing more than 2,000 people listing all their slots, right? List them all tomorrow. I don't care, because I'm just going to get more rev share. So it doesn't bother me, and I love the way you've done that. I love the way that, you know, if you want to list them for a couple of days, list them for a couple of days. Absolutely no problem at all. You'll miss out on rev share for those 2 days, but you might get a sale. It's all quite what's the word? Positive either way. But you know, if there's a couple of months rev share that are quite low, that's when us holders are going to show our true colours. And I know you've got a great community. I know that we've got some great holders, but it's when those couple of months are a little bit low, that's when you'll really know how good your community is.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, with any business, those months will come. I'm hoping they're going to be too low, but you're definitely going to be seeing those higher months and the lower months. But yeah, like I said, I'm always going to be there putting 110% effort in, 10% effort in. So if those low months do come about, just wait for the next month. And yeah, there's at the end of the day, like I said, we have massive product, all paid for, all stock, and we have the reach of the companies and the manufacturer who we have to give us that push. You know, it's something that I don't have to purely promote myself. We have other people doing it for us. So I'm sure those months will come, unfortunately, and I'm ready to answer any questions. But for as much that I can do, I'll make sure that those months are always trying to increase. But yeah, it happens. Unfortunately, it does happen with any business. You have the slow months and the very, very high months. And like I said, I'll always be very, very transparent with that.
Small businesses, 90% fail in the first 12 months.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
So the first 12 months are the time that we need to be very patient, very supportive, and we need to help you as much as we can for you to have the time as well to help yourself to grow that business. 90% fail in the first 12 months, and it's the first 12 in which is going to be, I predict, is going to be the low months. But years 1 to 2 and 2 to 5 are going to be absolutely phenomenal. That's the sort of timescale that I work on. So when I talk about being patient, I really mean it. And when you talk to Loco, I bought my Locos a year ago. Never, ever once have I asked him about rev share at all, because I don't expect it for the first 2 years. Just don't expect it. And anything I get is a bonus, and that's just the end of it. Same as Salty Sharks and same with any other ones. I mean, Hound 4, never once have I asked them when this, when that. Give it a couple of years, and then let's see where it is. But I'll tell you what, if you've got the honest, transparent founder that's never going to give up and always push on, then what I can tell people is 100% you're going to be here in 2 years' time. That's more important to me than how quickly you build your business. If you're not around, you can't build a business, and that's called a rug. And we've all been there. So founders over promises.
Definitely.
all day long.
I'm with you on that one, Grazza. I'm gonna step in here though.
Apart from Watsy, when are you gonna do something?
I don't know. I just sort of
You're the only exception, aren't you?
Yeah.
Come on, hurry up. You're really slow.
I am slow. It's because I'm busy. I got a son and a daughter that need attention. I've got an extension that needs attention, and then I've got shitty Airbnbs that need lots of attention. So that's my excuse anyway. But
right. Everyone leave Collab. So no, I've heard this before. All my funds were on a laptop, which I accidentally left on the train. We've had that.
Yeah, I've done that one several times. Yeah.
I've heard everything from everyone about where the funds are gone.
Yeah, I don't have any funds.
No, you're right. You're in a right result.
Yeah, they've all gone into this extension, mate, as you keep telling me.
and that travel lodge you had to stay in rather than the cat wee poo house.
Oh, God, don't. That's all anyone's ever going to talk about now, isn't it? You know, everything we've done, but it's going to always come back to that. But anyway, look, let's get back on track. Really appreciate you coming in and having a chat with us. And as usual, you're just doing so well, and it's good to see. Like I say,
I appreciate it.
In a couple of years' time, I think everybody, especially the ones who've got in now, they're going to be the ones that are getting the biggest rewards. Who are going to see that rev share just keep doubling. You know, it's going to happen. Like Grazza was saying, 1 or 2 years, it's going to be so much more than what it is right now. But you've got to start somewhere. So no, I'm looking forward to the future. That's for sure. But yeah, no, thank you for coming in, having a chat with us, and we'll come back to you guys in a little while. But let's move over. Who should we get up in next? Let's have a look. We've got Gangs of the Meta. Rico, do you want to come and have a chat with us?
Yeah, I can come and talk, mate.
Sweet. So I'm going to do a quick overview. But you've got so much going on.
Yeah.
And so many collections that I sort of I didn't know where to begin, mate, if I'm honest.
no collections that I've minted, only collections that we've acquired.
This is so. I was going to say you've got the Gangs of the Meta, the OG collection, is that right? And then you've got the DAO collection. Hold on,
Nah. So the only collection we have as Gangs of the Meta is the GOTM DAO.
That's it.
The whole purpose of the GOTM DAO is so GOTM Labs is the top company, right? People within the GOTM DAO are the people that, developers, artists, anything from like a moderator to a full-on developer, basically. People that are there to add their skill set to all the projects that we're kind of developing.
I tell you what, mate, let's dive into it. So I'm not even going to give you an overview because you're going to tell us all anyway. And
I'd be interested to hear what you'd have to say, actually.
Well, it was basically, it's the same as everyone else. But I looked at the So the DAO, basically, there isn't a floor price for that, is there?
No, because no one, realistically, anyone that's in a DAO probably isn't going to sell one, because
this is it.
In return for and they're pre-minted, and in return for sort of dedicating their time and efforts and skill set, they're obviously rewarded in rev share from everything.
And how many in that collection?
There's only 300. I own 30, which is like owning 10% of the business, basically. And obviously, I'm never going to sell them. And I've only sold. I think we just got a new member this week, another developer, but there's only 18 that have been sold. So there's no rush to sell them to generate mint funds or anything like that. It's more about finding the right people with the right skill sets to dedicate to everything they're doing.
Which is good to hear. That's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
What was the price on them as well?
So they're a $500 mint price.
There you go. Nice.
Not cheap.
No, but you're finding the right people.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, doesn't it? You're looking for for a certain type of person, I suppose, in a way. But we've sort of we're talking in riddles here. So go on, look, fire away. Tell us what's going on with Gangs of the Meta, and inform everyone.
Okay, we'll start out with Gangs of the Meta then. So, Gangs of the Meta is a play-to-earn NFT game being built on Solana. It's an idle game, but with 3D animation results. Now, I get it. Like most games are all about themselves, really. And in reality, the majority of us don't have time to sit there and play a game for 5 hours and earn $10. You know, like we've got better stuff to do with our time. So, what we're creating hopefully solves this. And it's not just a game; it's also a utility hub for external projects. It's a type of game you pop on and like you'll spend 10 minutes a day. I don't know if you remember the game like Clash of Clans, for example. You know, you'll pop on, do a cartel fight, or you'll participate in a tournament. And the objective from a player's perspective, you can participate in a PvP fight, a cartel fight, or a tournament. And your objective is to win SPL tokens or NFT prizes from any project on Solana and even multi-chain. Okay. There's leaderboards and like a PvP leaderboard, a cartel leaderboard where you can, dominate the leaderboards monthly. You earn token that way as well. So relatively low mint price at $70. And there's no limit on the number that can be minted because, if someone like FIFA or Call of Duty, if they said, "Oh, we can only have 5,000 players," then the game wouldn't really work. So I'm not really sure why many games try to stick to this kind of, we're going to have an NFT collection with 3,000 and you need one to play the game. It's like I don't see the reason to cut it off. All the NFTs start out the same. So like they start out in a prison outfit and you choose a male or female, you mint it, and you have to go to the swag shop and you can completely customize your character using our in-game token. When you customize your character, you increase the swag level of your character. Now, along with increasing the swag level and earning experience in the game, you can then level up your character, and then you start earning more from staking rewards per day. And obviously, you can use those staking rewards to enter tournaments where you have the potential to win NFT prizes. Okay, there's matchmaking in place to make it fair, so it's not all about the person who pays the most is going to win. There's matchmaking, so you're likely when you participate in fights, you're going to come up with an opponent that's a similar level to you. And the same with tournaments. Like some tournaments will be restricted. Okay. What else we got? Swag shop. So the way we interact with external projects, you can add NFTs into your gangs from external projects. What that does, it increases your gang points, which obviously assists you to win in fights and tournaments. And it also uses rarity. So the rarer the NFT, based upon how rare API, sort of gives you, there's like a range. So imagine that the NFT in question was in the top 100, it could give you 20 points. If it was in the top 1,000, it would give you slightly less, maybe 15 points. So Gangs is quite a powerful solution to interact with many other projects, especially the projects that we're taking on via the DAO. That's the way that we're giving them consistent utility, like constant demand, basically. Okay. Then we have something else called street cred, which is another part of the game. Players can basically increase their street cred by owning NFTs from projects that we partner with. So, for example, Stone Sloths is on here. So imagine that Stone Sloths was an active Street Cred partner for this week. Any of our players that own Stone Sloths NFT, they get points allocated to their Street Cred. Then on the leaderboard, they would earn token. So they basically get rewarded for owning other people's NFTs. Okay. What that basically does is obviously create volume and fresh eyes for other projects. There's tournament sponsorships, so pretty much any Web3 application or service or project can sponsor a tournament. We can force people to like join your Twitter, join your Discord before they enter the tournament. So plenty of opportunities around there. A massive percentage of our mint funds are being allocated to NFT prizes. All the projects that we have acquired, which is 4 so far, 90% of all the royalties that are generated from those projects go to the community wallet for the NFT prize. Because, you know, if we minted out our NFTs, that money would only last for so long purchasing NFTs for prizes for tournaments. And that's what's going to drive the growth. Like when people are winning Mad Lads NFTs or D-Gods or Utes or, you know, any other project really. So we understand we need a sustainable income. So we also have an in-game battle pass, which people don't have to pay, but it is $20 a month, and some tournaments will be restricted. So, because of course we want to be going out and buying expensive NFTs to give away in tournaments, because that's what will drive demand from the community. All right, I've battled on. That's enough, probably enough really for Gangster Meta. But if you've got any questions about it, I know there's quite a lot. I'm happy to answer them.
There must be so many questions here. Come on, who's got some? But I mean, this is the thing. This is why I struggled with like the overview, because you've got so much going on.
Yeah. We've built a multi-project trait store as well. So because from a founder's perspective, taking on projects, I realised that okay, shit, we need a mint site, we need a stake site, we need a trait store, we need scripts to update metadata. So the stuff that I'm kind of building out, I'm not just building it for just my project. I'm building it so it can be so any project can take it on. So we've recently launched traitstore.app, and we've currently got 4 projects on there, and there's about another 5 coming on board soon. I could literally create a trait store for any collection on Solana within probably 20 minutes. Like so, the way it's been built, it just is so fluid. And actually, the developer that built it, because I can't take more devs away from the game because they're flat out busy, but the developer who built it has recently become a DAO member because he's just kind of one of those developers that are very rare to find. Like you give them a brief of what you want, and normally, you know, my experience of working with developers is you tell them what you want, and then you go to and from for weeks trying to get it right. This guy just literally nailed everything and done more stuff that I didn't think of. So yeah,
Brilliant.
It's nice to have him on board. Very rare to find, so I'm not sharing his name.
Yeah, no, that is. You can share that with me later.
Yeah,
but yeah, coming across a dev like that, it's a struggle. That's for sure.
100%.
There's so many out there, and so many promises, and again, so many scanners. That's the other thing as well that you've got to be careful of.
Yes.
But yeah, no, like your trait store again.
Trait store. Yeah.
I maybe in the future I'll be having a word with you as well. That's
literally
all I'm gonna say.
20 minutes it can be set up, and the way I've built it is like it's 1 Solana to set up. Okay.
For 20 minutes work, hold on a minute.
No, you got to think of the investment that I've paid to build it, right?
I'm winding you up.
So one Sol setup fee, okay, and then depending on the token that you use within the store, there's a tiered price structure. So if you use Unison, which is a token that I created for all the collections that we take over, because obviously they have their own tokens, it would just get messy. We have one token called Unison. That's the token that's being used for all the projects of staking rewards. It's also the token that's being used across as a preferable, should we say, for the the build outs that we're doing. But if you have your own token, it's not a problem as well. You just pay monthly, and it ranges from it's really cheap, like from $25 to $100 per month, depending on the amount of transactions that go through your store. So how many NFTs are updated. So realistically, it kind of supports a lot of projects are out there that unfortunately, that they want utility, they need the exposure, they want to give their community stuff, but they can't afford to do it. So yeah,
no,
kind of
exactly.
open for that. Mm-hmm.
Like you say, all these projects that you're taking on, and they're all using the same staking system and coin. I think that's incredible. I mean, I've got how many goats have I got now? I've got a few goats.
Great
So
goats, yeah.
yeah, did you mention all of the projects? I
I
can't remember.
didn't. So the
Go
first
through them. Come on.
the first project I took on was it was called Original Gangsters, and I got involved in it because it had the word gangsters in it, and I saw it, and I came onto a Twitter space and I heard the guy talking, and I invested in it, because they were building, or they're going to be building a game or something. It was very similar to Gangs of the Meta, so I got invested anyway. I wasn't in the Discord, and then of course they broke, and I was like, oh god, okay. So basically, we got a new Discord. There was only like 50 members left or something. I built a remint site for them. We reminted the collection, and we'll give them utility within the game. And my objective is to make them whole again. So big challenge, but it's we're about 80% away there. So that was the first collection. The second collection was Undead Genesis, which I purchased. Basically, the founder just went missing for like 6 months, MIA. No, wasn't looking after the community. So yeah, I managed to purchase that. The third collection was a project called Candies. The founder just become ill. Fair enough. Again, that was a purchase. And then Great Goats was the fourth collection, probably the most well known, and that was actually gifted. I think the guys who kind of took it over were kind of struggling to do anything with it. So yeah, that was gifted.
Nice.
So we're currently on 4 projects, and we will continue to do more.
No, that's awesome. I think that's a great base to have. And
Yeah,
like I say, I don't know what your plans are, but I was going to say personally, I'd say focus on building them up, and then it will go crazy with the amount.
Once they have the game is like the linking thing, you see, because once they all have, if an NFT has constant demand from something, people are going to want to put these NFTs into their gangs to increase their gang points, to increase their chances of winning NFTs. So yeah, if all goes well and the logic I've created works, then it'd be good. But it's nice to incorporate rarity and loyalty into things as well. So when I was talking earlier about Street Cred, which is open to any NFT project, there's something in place called loyalty. So we reward holders additional points based upon how long they have held your NFT for. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, I think what you've got is very, very clever, and it all, like I say, it's that cycle. I mean, when we first had that chat, I think that was one of the things that I kept saying is it just all comes around, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Which is what you want, isn't it? That is the perfect cycle that you need. So yeah, I'm just excited. You've shown a few of the clips as well for the game, and they look incredible.
The animations, they take a long time. I mean, when I first started making the game, I made it in 2D, and it just didn't hit right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I went down a 3D route, and then my bank balance just went down really fast. Like you can imagine, just creating a 3D character, getting it modeled, getting it rigged, getting the environment created, then getting an animation made. It takes a long time and a lot of money.
Yeah, this is it. No, but like I say, what you're doing is incredible, and it's coming along, and you can see it happening. Which, like I say, I enjoy that sort of thing. Just seeing the little snippets here and there, and see the thing building into the game. But when do you think the game will be ready to go? Basically, it'll be fully operational.
So I wouldn't take a penny from anyone until it was fully ready. We are literally. Like Street Cred's finished, Gangs is finished. So much is done. We're literally working now on about 95% of the PvP fight logic is complete. Now, because that logic is pretty much similar for cartels, because you can do cartel battles, very similar to a PvP fight, but just multiplayer. It will. I don't know exactly when, but it's so difficult because now we're doing a PvP fight, like integrating it into the screens. We realize, oh shit, we need another button for this, or or you can't have that many characters in this bit because like gang leader names were 30 characters and it's over, and then you got to go back to the UI guy. He's got to make a change. Yeah, it takes some time. I'm hoping literally within 2 months we should be good to start allowing people that have the OG role to participate in beta test. So we'll get everyone to create cartels, participate in tournaments, and just do some testing from there. Hopefully, we'd have found all the bugs prior to even doing that, so there won't be any. But if there is, then it could be a week or two to fix them, and then I'll be happy to mint, basically.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm just excited for it. I think it's going to be great. I think people are going to enjoy it.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like I say, you've got the other projects as well. You've got the token, and you've got the staking as well, which it appeals to everybody. I think that's the thing: the gaming, the staking, the trade shop. I still need to try that trade shop out. After I got my Uniswap, it was Uniswap. Unison. Sorry, I apologise. Once I got that, I realised I didn't have quite enough for what I wanted. So I'm waiting to get a bit more.
To buy traits. You see, a lot of collections are kind of static in terms of rarity.
Yeah.
So what the trait store kind of does, it allows people to change rarity. We can bring out, it keeps it alive and keeps it active and keeps it going. And because it's linked with the game in terms of giving additional points based upon rarity, it kind of makes sense. So
yeah, no, exactly. So that it's good actually. So the rarity, how does that all work? Could you potentially? I'm just trying to think off the top of my head now. So if I completely balls this up, I apologise. But if you say a common trait within the trait store, right? If everybody avoids that and goes for all of the other traits, but there's say one or two that have still got the uncommon trait from the trait store, does that then make them rare?
Yeah, let me explain it in an easier way that might help you understand. Let's say you put your NFT collection onto the trait store and you create a brand new background and you call it, say, yellow. None of the NFTs have got a yellow background. If you just set that yellow background to 5, there's only 5 available. That will kind of become the rarest background. It'll make the NFT rarer. Yeah, but then it's not just looking at background. How rare on the APIs, they look at rarity on all of the traits.
Yeah.
And they look at the percentage of, okay, only 0.1% of the collection have got a yellow background, but they also look at the percentage of the other traits as well.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's exactly what I wanted to hear, because I was just thinking about how people think, and you find that one trait where everybody loves it, and they all go for that, and so that could be the rarest trait going. But if everybody wants it and they all put it on their NFT,
the thing you do, you set the quantity in the admin panel. You set the quantity and price of each trait. So you could create a trait and say, right, there's only going to be 10 of these available, but they're going to be higher priced than something else.
Right. Okay. I'm with you now. Sorry.
Yeah, you've got the power to do that. It has the trait store's built really well. It's got constraints in, so you can say this trait shouldn't fit with these traits, etc. You can manage what token people use within the store. You can manage. It's even got artist commissions. If you had an artist create traits for you, you can, against that specific trait, you could put their wallet address and any traits that are sold in the store. Obviously, the artist will get a commission of whatever you set, whether it's 10%, 20%, 50%, whatever it is. So,
have you had anyone do that yet?
Yeah. So Hazel, I don't know if you know Hazel. He's kind of a popular artist on Solana. He's responsible for quite a few collections. I met him because I took over Candies, and he was the Candies artist. But I think he's done like Bro Halla, So Dead, and a few that I don't even know. But so he works on. He'd rather work on that basis. So I mean, artists can charge you anything from $5 a trait, probably up to like $50 a trait. But he's happy to work on. Well, I'll create these traits and I'll take a commission in unison. So yeah.
No, I like that. I'm now thinking you need to speak to Crypto Social Club.
Okay.
There's a few people you should speak to who've got so many different artists within. So again, these people would probably may be interested in something like that. Again, it depends on what you're looking for and traits and blah blah.
Yeah. So we've added an artist section to the homepage where we display, the artist, their PFP, their portfolio, their email, and Twitter. So any projects that we take on, if they're interested in contacting that artist, they can. And a phase 4 of what we're kind of looking at doing is thinking of a way to facilitate the payment between an artist and between the store founder. So if you was an artist and you drew me, I don't know, new head, for example, that could be facilitated by us we both agree on a quantity and a price, and then it's locked in the store rather than giving you the ability to change it or change the artist commission. So it kind of gets agreed on by both of you. Yeah, so we're looking at doing that as well.
That's awesome. I just think, yeah, you've got a lot going on there.
I didn't even talk about Fireflake, but yeah, I'll leave that one. That's another project.
Yeah, leave that one for now. Let's see if anyone's got any questions first. Grazza, anything you want to say at all? Hold on, actually, before I come to you, Grazza, who have we got here? Judah has come up.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me up.
How are you, bud?
Hey. Doing well. You actually asked, or you already asked him a couple of questions I had just in regards to the timing of things, and so yeah, you asked the great questions that I had on my mind. So definitely
when everyone wants to know when.
When yeah.
Oh, that's good. So
yeah, I mean, it looks like you're building on a lot of different stuff. So appreciate the overview. With all that you have going on, you did it in a very concise way. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Here's a question for you then. Have you heard of Gangs of the Meta before?
I don't believe I have.
Okay.
No.
So what's your thoughts then? Obviously, I'm putting you on the spot here. This could, you could completely turn this around and say, no, it's terrible. But what's your thoughts on Gangs of the Meta and what you've heard tonight? Are you interested
so I
in getting involved?
I do enjoy video games. I do enjoy gaming, and I am excited about different projects, even if it's like maybe it's the actual game in and of itself isn't my favorite style or whatnot.
Yeah,
but I love seeing projects build out like a quality game, and so for me, I like what I see because I see you guys are taking your time to be intentional with it, and so I'm very curious to see how what the experience is. So
yeah, and it's not a game you play with a controller.
I know, I realize that, but gaming is there's so many different facets to gaming. Board games, card games, video games. I enjoy games in all forms.
Nice. Well, that's good to hear. So you're gonna have to do some research then. Jump into Gangs of the Meta.
Yeah, I'm following a couple of pages. I'll bookmark some stuff, and I'll definitely be looking into it later.
If anyone here is interested in, there's not too many here. Yeah, like we still have 100 spots left to give away for OGs in the Discord. So if anyone's here, there's no point just having it for no reason. But if anyone's interested in when we do the beta testing, we kind of want 300 people to help us do that. And in return, we'll allow you to mint first, and that will be a Gen 0 character, and they will earn more from staking rewards per day. So it'll be quite sought after. There's only going to be 333. So yeah,
maybe an exclusive for Collab Center members. I don't know. Just putting it out there, but
I've got about 200 already, so there's only 100 spots left. But yeah,
nice. Well, there we go. But yeah, I'm putting you on the spot again. But yeah, no, Judah, I appreciate you coming up and having a chat with us, mate. Have you got any more questions you want to fire whilst you're here?
I mean, not at the moment. Just I mainly asked to come up, just ask about what the time frame is, what the long term growth is, and you guys already touched on that. So my questions were already answered. So I appreciate that.
Perfect.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear. We're obviously doing a good job.
Yeah, just always glad to show up wherever the sloths are.
Exactly. I was going to say you're quite a big holder, aren't you, in sloths? Am I right in saying that?
I've got a decent bag, yeah.
Nice. It took me a little minute. The name caught me by surprise. I know you've been through some shit with X recently, but I knew who it was.
Yeah, I lost my X account last week, and I'm trying to get it restored, but it's not looking like it, even though I had a blue check mark and all that stuff. So we'll see. I'm just switched to an alt account, and it is what it is.
That's it, bro. I mean, when I see that PFP, I know who I'm talking to.
No, that's good. Again, we're getting the sloths coming up here. having a chat with us.
Nah, that PFP that he's got is literally rare, probably the rarest sloth in the whole collection.
I do like it.
So there was only one sloth that was minted without a head trait, a hand trait, or any clothing. So it's legit just like pure naked. Like there's no hand trait, head trait, clothing.
Yeah.
And he minted the only one that was in a 5,500 collection.
Nice. So that sort of picks up though on what I was sort of saying to Rico a minute ago about all your different traits. Sometimes the rarer trait has no traits. Do you know what I mean? So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly
We was holding out to see if there was any others minted after we had minted it, and then once we'd minted out, we went and had another look, and yeah, nothing. So we pumped it up a little bit. It's got its own now custom trait, and
Nice.
it earns a little bit of extra. I think it earns the most sloth token for an NFT in the collection.
Yeah.
That's a huge blessing. I'm really grateful for that. Like I love the stuff for the art of it. Like that's what drew me to the project initially, and then just connecting with you guys that made me want to stick around. But so that you guys added value to the NFT, like that's a huge blessing to me.
We have one rule though: your strict orders that you do not use the trait shop with that NFT.
Oh no, I won't. Dan was talking about, we could change the background and all this, and I'm just like, no. Just keep it how it was.
Nah, I have told him that if he ever does want to change the background on it,
it's not gonna happen, Dan.
No, but if there ever was a background that uses like that looks nice, then we'll just do it manually rather than messing around with the trait shop, because once I changed that metadata, I broke it. So
you gotta keep the original.
Sid, you said you're building a trait store for Stone Sloths, yeah? You said it was going to be released shortly.
Yeah, so we personally haven't built it, but we're working with some people that have a trait shop. But obviously, I've heard what you said, so we might have to chat on the back end.
Seriously,
we haven't got too deep into things with it just yet.
From the way I've built it, you can update metadata for one specific NFT if you wanted to. Like if you had a spelling mistake in the collection, you can fix it.
Okay, I don't know who's talking right now.
Mr. Rico.
Yeah.
Okay, Rico. I'm gonna friend you. Because I'm the one that does all that on the back end for the sloths.
Okay.
We'll have a little chat and see what we can do. Because
the
other place right now is walking on eggshells a little bit, so I'm a bit uneasy.
That's why we've kind of held off things. We've got all the traits ready, but we're just holding off until they kind of showed the potential. But yeah, I've heard what you said, bro. So yeah, if we can chat to Dan, then we'll.
Honestly, when I say 20 minutes, I'm not lying.
No, we'll have a chat. We could if you could show me like a little rundown and whatnot.
Yeah, jump on a screen share, mate. At some point.
Yeah. We'll definitely have a chat and see.
We'll try and get that like a three-way thing, so I can see. I don't know what I'm doing, but as long as you can chat to Dan and I can.
You banned.
Dan, I've just DM'd you about half an hour, bro, and you've not replied. So don't even.
I've been busy, man. I'm listening, but I'm.
Yeah.
Right, you're like a married couple here. Come on, stop the bickering.
Right,
I'll see you on a freeway with Rico. That's how we're ending that.
Freeway.
I can't see this space. That's fine.
I can't see him speaking in this space. Like, do you know, he normally shows you and the three little things move.
Oh yeah. He'll be in there with he's called Dan the Man. If you get anything from him, he's the one.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to bring up. Who have we got here? Crypto Chick. I'm going to assume you've got a question for one of the projects up here, so I'll bring you in. But yeah, come and have a chat. Let's fire a question then at one of the projects. I'm going to assume it's for Gangs of the Meta. Crypto Chick, is that what you've got? A question for someone? I'll take that as a yes or a no. What are we going here? Is that a no? No question?
Give us an emoji at least.
Okay. Crypto Chick? No? Nothing? Okay. I'll remove you then. No worries. There we go. Back down to listener. Okay, moving on. So, Rico, have we missed anything? That's the question.
We're good, mate. There's loads more, but there's enough for now.
Oh, don't tell me I've rugged. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear him? He's
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you now. I don't know if that was just me or if there was just a block or whatever it was, but yeah, Rico, have we missed anything tonight?
Nah, you're
Gangs
good,
in the
mate.
Meta. Yeah.
No, all good.
All right. Well, shall we move on then to Lyco Labs, the last project to come up and have a chat with us?
What's going on?
All good, mate. You're still with us. You've been quiet for a little while.
I'm still here. I'm just still alive. Yeah, my battery's still alive. It's getting by. Yeah, but these guys speaking have absolutely killed it though. It's been a pleasure to listen in.
Yeah, it's been a good night on it, and we've still got, like I say, Lyco Labs to go. So now I was going to do an overview, but again, you've got a lot going on. You've got 3 collections? Is that right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you've got let's go through. So you've got 2 collections on Hedera and 1 on XRP. So you've got the Lizards Gen 1 and Gen 2 on Hedera. Now, again, correct me if I'm wrong. Gen 1, 2,222.
Yep.
And Gen 2, 444.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're the 2 collections with the Lizards on Hedera. And then we've got on XRP, we've got the Lyco Lions, and there's 2,450 of them.
There is now, yeah, we've burnt 50.
Nice. So, the floor price in the Gen 1 is at 649 Hedera, or H-bar. What's that in USD, do you know, mate?
I think H-bar's just come down a little bit. It's probably around $60.
Nice. Good floor price. And that's the Gen 1. The Gen 2 are sitting at 399. And then we've got the Lions at 18 XRP. So they're all doing well. It's good to see, actually.
Yeah, they're all not far away from the mint price. You know what I mean? But they have they've recovered. You know, so they've been, 6 months ago or so. They were. I mean, they're up like probably 100% just in the last 5 or 6 weeks. So we're back on a bounce.
You're doing good. I mean, well, I spoke to you the last couple of weeks. We've been talking about how you've been getting on, and look. I won't. Let's get into it. Let's get into Lyco Labs, shall I say? Tell us all about you, and I'm sure it will come up what's been happening this last month.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a quick rundown for those that don't know. Lyco Labs was born as Lyco Lizards on Hedera 2 years ago now. We minted Hedera, to put it into perspective first, because I imagine many have not even touched on Hedera or been involved in H-bar. It's a very small ecosystem. In relative to NFT terms and the community size, it was we were actually initially going to mint our lizards on Solana, but it was the time of the FTX crash and there was it crashed really bad, and it was looking not a very sound time to try and mint an NFT collection, and we'd been gearing up and ready to launch for a couple of months. So we really didn't want to stop just due to market conditions, and we were shown Hedera and H-bar, and we really loved what we saw. I'd been involved with community over there for a few months before this, so I already knew what it were. I introduced our co-founder to it, explained everything about it, and he really liked it as well. So we decided to pivot last minute and launch our collection on H-bar. At the time, probably a really good move, because NFTs just weren't moving or selling or minting on Solana at that point in time. And Hedera being such a small ecosystem, they'd never they've never even sold out a collection during a whitelist period. Like even in a 24-hour whitelist period, you know, a few hundred size collections had not even managed to sell out in that time, and for a lot cheaper than what we were minting at. And so we received a bit of backlash when we first went over there, saying like your supply is too big, your price is too high, etc., etc. But we pushed on, and we actually broke every record known to man on Hedera and sold out the full collection in 28 minutes, which had just not been seen before. So it started to coin after that we began. We kind of started what they called the Hedera heatwave at the time. So it got a lot of attention towards Hedera NFTs, and things started to move forward in a positive manner over there. And we had an idea of, at that time, it was kind of the meta, and we liked the idea, and we had a partner called Ibiza Bible, which are a big social media brand, that our co-founder was like best friends with the founder of that. So our idea was to somehow turn their 10 million, 20 million views a year that they were hitting on social media and get them into Web3. So we had a strategy for it. We sold out our collection first, and then we started having paying presenters to go out around the world to different clubs and events and recording funny content and building up a social media brand on like TikTok and Instagram, whatnot. And then we were going to try and reel them in that way, but like not directly throwing NFTs and Web3 in their face. We wanted to build up a brand first, then onboard these people into Web3 in a different way. Sadly, that plan, after spending, you know, tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars, probably $40,000-$50,000, were gone out of the pot before we decided that this is just not going to work. We've literally onboarded hardly anybody, although our social media accounts were hitting some pretty good views. Like we had 500,000, I think, views on one video, our first video we ever uploaded to TikTok. So it although it had a positive start, that it just weren't, the end game wasn't happening. So this was over a 6-month period. I decided that we needed something to sustain ourselves, because if no matter what we do next, we're just going to run out of money, and then what do we do, right? I was a very passionate poker player at the time and a DJ, so I started to host DJ raves in the Discord, and now I were also getting paid to do it at other servers as well. But poker was my other passion, so we decided to launch our own poker platform, which would be, or was and still is, the first on HBAR. So we launched that. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, things were going pretty well, and then it just died off completely because obviously the community was just too small to keep something like that active. So we pivoted again. My next idea was to integrate Zoom Wallet, which is the native wallet for XRP, and launch a really cool collection on XRP cheap, to give us as much attention as possible and merge HBAR and XRP together in one community. Now that worked absolutely brilliant. We sold out the collection in around 2 weeks. 2,500 collection, again in market conditions where, like, you know, not many people were able to mint out, and we just soldiered on and pushed it through. We got a lot of attention, quite a bit of attention from XRP. And a lot of those players, community members, started to play on poker and started to actually engage with the platform, and are still to this day. So that kind of pushed us into built up these foundations that made our platform start to break even, because we have to pay, obviously, monthly. There's all sorts of monthly costs that are involved with running a poker platform, and it got us to a point where we were breaking even on the platform. So we saw some promise with XRP. From there, God, what were next? We've done so much. It's been a constant pivot, this project. It really has. But the next thing we did was we networked our poker site with 3 other well-known poker sites across on crypto platforms. Like there was a big poker platform. Well, it's still there, but not so big anymore, on Solana and 2 other networks, and we merged all the lobbies together under a USDC lobby in January. After doing this, because we could put all the players together in one pool rather than us all struggle to keep games active, during January we had action 24/7, and honestly, it was the best thing I'd ever seen. Like, I thought I'd finally cracked it. Things were going so great during that month. We made record revenue. I couldn't have asked for more, but all of a sudden, the network completely died off in February, and all our players, not our players, but the players from the other sites, all vanished, and kind of just left me with our player pool that we developed over time, and not big enough to sustain and keep a site active for long. So we struggled really hard in February, March, and then April of this year due to that. And to top it off as well, we used a third-party payment processor to convert crypto deposits into USDC, but the conversion didn't actually happen. They were like a middleman. I had an account, players had deposit funds onto the site, and USDC would be credited onto your poker account, but we would still be holding crypto. So obviously, when that happens, you're kind of at risk. If there's a crash or anything happens with the markets, you're at risk if you're not stabling them funds regular. So every day, twice a day, sometimes I'd be withdrawing the players' funds and stabling it to make sure we're not affected negatively by any market moves. And all of a sudden, this payment processor decided to fail every withdrawal that I tried, and this went on with numerous excuses and everything they were coming out with. It dragged on for 8 weeks before I got my funds, and 50% of the USDC value was lost in what was deposited. So I needed to basically put these funds back in myself, which was almost all I had left. We had to cover these funds completely to keep the site running, and I ended up closing down everything to do with that payment provider. I ended up closing down the USDC network, and this were in April. I were basically, after a year of building this up and getting it to a break-even point at last, making that move that seemed great ended up being my biggest mistake, and it ended up nearly costing us everything. But in April, I decided just to scrap everything, revert back to what I had going before, knowing that I could probably get it back to a break-even point relatively quick. And luckily, in April, basically, the site we started pushing it, toward the end of April. The site did 8,000 XRP in volume. So that's not revenue. We still actually lost like $400-500 that month, but it's better than losing like $600-700 every month for the last 3 months. So it started to generate some revenue back. That was 8,000 in April. In May, the site did 22,000 XRP in volume.